Tonight, we will be honoring former West Washington head coach and athletic director Philip Bowsman for his decision to be an organ donor. Representatives from the Indiana Donor Network are present to promote organ donation. Thank you for wearing a little piece of green tonight to bring awareness to the continued need of those waiting for organ transplants. Coach Bowsman was a beloved figure in both of our communities. His commitment and leadership will never be forgotten. He will live on through the thousands of people that he impacted personally, his gift of organ donation, and his story. A message from the Indiana Donor Network. Did you know one donor can save up to 8 lives through an organ donation and heal up to 75 people through tissue and cornea donation? Nationwide, over 100,000 people are on the transplant waiting list. That's enough to fill Lucas Oil Stadium almost twice. 1,300 of these patients are in Indiana.
West Washington live stream here, simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and we are here for sectional 48 action here in the semifinal as the Tecumseh Braves from Warwick County march their tribe up here to battle the Senators, who stand currently 8-0 on the year. Craig, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got tonight they're honoring Coach Philip Bowsman as we speak there and his gift of life that he gave. And so we've got lots of stuff that we'll be showing later, I believe.
Definitely. It actually goes on throughout the whole pregame, through the timeouts, through halftime. Lots of great things there to remember him, the great coach that he was, also the athletic director, the father, just the great member of the community. Yeah. So honoring him throughout. You just heard the opening from our principal, Marianne Knapp. But that's one part of tonight. Along with that goes the sectional semifinals here in sectional 48.
We're playing. So hopefully, we hope to get 7:30. It's one of those scariest things we talk about. We're counting down to something hopefully here as we watch. I tell you what, this is a Tecumseh team that had a similar situation that Paley had. Last week, right before their sectional, they had there was one player out that had tested, was a close contact for COVID-19, and then they wound up losing another 6 players, so taking away 6 or 7 of their starters. Coach Brett Sabo told me, and I was like, oh my goodness. So they gutted out in the middle of a hurricane a 6-0 win against Eastern Green to really propel them to what he said was one of the biggest wins they've had. So we're going to hear his interview here in a little bit.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that we've seen. We used to play Tecumseh during the regular season. Now we don't play them. We see them in the sectional when we get the draw that comes out. But it's a familiar team for this West Washington team. They played them as the seniors played them as freshmen, so it hasn't been that long ago since we've played this team.
Yeah, and actually they played them as sophomores too, because that was the game here. Was we put highlights, I think, of Bobby running. We had a unique uniform combination, I think, that night, if I remember right.
I believe you are correct.
And I was like, I couldn't figure out who was who for a second. And, so we'll see what kind of thankfully they have a darker, like more of a navy blue as theirs. So we'll see tonight. Field looks great. We talked about the rains finally stopped. Thank you, goodness. I think today, and our crew was able to get out there and at least get the lines on the field. It looks bright and white. That's good. A lot better than some schools that we've seen around. Some shots early on. So Senators are going to be battling tonight. We do see they're going to wear the gray pants with the red jerseys and the gray helmets there. So they'll stand out a little bit there. I know they'll stand out on the field with their play. We hope to get this one a win here so that we could either travel to be home against North Central or Perry Central in the Battle of the Centrals over there in Leopold tonight. So we'll keep a close eye on that game tonight along with some others.
So we're going to step aside and have the interview with let's see. Let's go.
You can go Britt, or you can go give it your choice.
Okay, let's go with Coach Szabo first, and then we'll be back in a little bit with some more pregame.
Thank you.
Welcome to West Washington Livestream. I'm sitting here talking to Tecumseh coach Britt Szabo. Coach, we come into this week. You come off a victory. No matter how small or how big you advance on. we were talking before we started this interview about how COVID's really affected you. You said you've lost 7 starters in that time.
Yeah, we did. We lost one on Tuesday that we knew about, and then about an hour and a half before the game, we literally had to pull 6 other players, well, more than 6, but 6 starters out of the locker room who were contact traced to somebody who was positive. So, and I had 9 kids to go both ways, so it was a really, really difficult situation for us. We had to adapt on the fly, throw kids into different positions, obviously put a bunch of younger kids on the field that had no varsity experience whatsoever. And a game that we thought we'd win pretty soundly suddenly turned into an absolute grudge match.
And the fact that we were in the middle of a hurricane, in the middle of a cold hurricane, didn't seem to help any either. I know, with you guys, were you able to throw the ball much and all that crazy wind and rain?
We actually completed a few passes. They were pretty ugly. We had some balls that hung up in the air and kind of went backwards, and it was Armageddon. It was the perfect storm for Eastern Green to pull off the upset. But I've been coaching for 28 years, and this is one of the proudest. Won a lot of big games, but this is one of the proudest I've been of a football team. To go in that locker room before the game and see the tears and the shock on the kids' faces, and just to rally them and to come out with a victory was one of the greatest wins I've been a part of.
And we were talking about before we went on the air about how you guys have been a season of up and downs, but really on the upside on this back end. So like you're saying, those kids are really thinking, hey, we're peaking at the right time. We're moving at the right time, and it kind of feels like the rug just gets pulled out from under them. Did you have anybody step up for you, that names that we need to know here, that we're going to be calling their names on Friday, that really stepped up for you and did an excellent job?
Geez, I mean, I put the whole darn squad on there that was out there Friday night, but I thought we have a sophomore by the name of Kai Silke, who's never played a second of varsity football, that came out as a starter. I mean, he'd be on the field, but he hadn't started, and I thought he played a whale of a game for us defensively. If I had to name one person, I thought Lane Patterson, who's a regular starter for us, number 14, had a phenomenal game. Ran really hard, but yeah, like I said, the whole bunch of them, just everybody really stepped up. It was quite an evening for us. And
that's we talk about with single A football, where a sophomore, I know you've been at like BNL and Evansville North, as sophomores, very unlikely to even crack a roster at those schools, right? But here, that's one of your main guys, and have you, as you've been coaching, have you had to make adjustments for yourself with having, fewer kids or, younger kids? What kind of adjustments in your coaching have you had to do?
Well, the one thing that I realized pretty quickly is, when you put your best 11 out there, there's really not a ton of difference. Certainly I wouldn't take my starting squad here at Tecumseh and put them against the kids I coached at North or Bedford North Lawrence, or even back when I was at Evansville Harrison. But the biggest thing I noticed right away is that after those first 11, 12, 13, 14 kids that are going to be on the field, the drop-off in age and ability, mostly just based on experience and not being in the weight room, et cetera, is immense. And so that really changes what you can and can't do in practice. For instance, in your defensive team session, you just can't turn them loose. I mean, because the guys they're going against are 13, 14, 15-year-old freshmen and sophomores, and you're not going to get anything out of that. So we've had to learn and adjust on how to efficiently practice based on the level of players that you have, and that's been a big adjustment. I think also the kids realize that you really don't have a lot of pressure as far as somebody taking their spot. So the motivation sometimes can, to practice, not out of fear, but just that, hey, if I don't step up today, somebody might come in there and take my spot. It really doesn't. That's not much of a factor.
There's no Wally Pips, wandering around there to
Right.
to move in on the Lou Gehrig's of the team. I didn't know your background. Are you originally from Evansville? There, do you have connections to Tecumseh area there? In the Evansville area, I know you're up at BNL there. So, is it feel? Would you say that region of Indiana is kind of your home?
Well, it's been my home since 1988. I'm originally from suburb of Detroit, Michigan, and I came down to University of Evansville in 1988, and been here ever since. Other than the 10 years I spent up in Bedford. So
we need to get the Purple Aces football back. That's something we desperately need in this state.
Yeah, it was right when just about when I graduated. They played a few more years after that, and they shut the program down. But I don't think it'll ever come back. I really don't. I think Evansville, that the school itself is really struggling with just enrollment in general, let alone the expense of running a football team. So I think that ship has sailed. However, USI, there's always talk about that. They've got a ton of kids, and really the tri-state area is full of football players that would be great at that level, just great. But starting a football program, especially now, is next to impossible.
Yeah, and that's what I always kind of in that area. We're fortunate that we have the University of Louisville, in Bloomington, IU Bloomington. And you from your time at Bedford being very close, and you look over there and it's like, oh my gosh, the nearest team is like you go up to Terre Haute there in Indiana State, really, or down south in Kentucky there. It's like it amazes me that they don't have a college football team there. But and the way that USI is growing in that area, have you guys seen a big uptick in enrollment there at Tecumseh with your area?
No. Matter of fact, enrollment's a little bit down this year. We're pretty steady around 300 students year in and year out.
Well, that's and that's what we see so many small schools that in single A football I think that people don't understand that the male student body makes up a majority of that team pretty quickly. You're going to have a lot of them to be successful. So
one of the better 1A teams in the state. I'm sure that they have aspirations to win the state championship, and they've got the kids to do it. Very impressed, obviously, with quarterback. I mean, he can beat you with his arm, certainly with his legs. They've got the two-headed monster in the backfield with the sophomore that can fly, and the big fella. We were talking the other day. They've got Russell Wilson. They've got Gronk. 32 he's a monster. Jerome Bettis and everything else that you need to be a football team. They're loaded, and it's going to take a phenomenal effort especially with us being so shorthanded. I mean, I would love to have brought up my full squad. That's not going to happen. So we're going to have a great week of preparation and get as many of our younger guys out there as we can. And we feel really good about our scheme and what we would like to accomplish. And I know this: my kids fight. They'll fight. They'll regardless of the situation, they're going to get out there and play football real hard for 4 quarters. It's what we're all about. We've done that all year. Even the games we've lost, we've led them. And sometimes we were down just a score or two at halftime and kind of got away from us. But our kids have really battled. I'm proud of the football team and really excited about Friday.
And that's something I can really tell you. I get to watch little snippets of highlights or whatever, whatever's provided to me. I don't have access like our coaches do, but I tell you what, the heart of the Tecumseh Braves there are a team, I've battled with them at my time in Crawford County there and other schools. They were always hard-nosed, hard-working kids, and that's something that I think really shows, like you guys talking about gutting out that win last week. And we hope that everybody is healthy so we can all, like we said, we hold our breath till 7:30 game time when we kick off on Friday, and we can continue the state tournament. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you up here on Friday. I think it may stop raining finally for us, so we'll see. We've avoided it most of the year, so I think it'll stop raining for us on Friday. We'll see.
Well, thank you, Brad. I really appreciate what you do for high school football. It's great that there's folks like you that are, promoting it and giving not only your home team but the visiting team the opportunity to be seen and heard by people all over the state. And I'll have people watching from all the way from Michigan down to Florida and Texas, and it's really a neat opportunity for my family and friends to catch some live high school football, and I appreciate what you do.
And use the hashtag on your social media, Senators Braves, and Senators Braves. And if they send a picture in, it'll pop up for us while we're on air on Friday. So, Coach, thank you so much again, and we'll see you on Friday.
A tribute from West Washington football alumni Mason Armstrong. Coach Bowsman was like a second father to me and many others. He taught us so much more than football. He taught us about family and how to become a great man, just like he was. Coach was one of the most selfless people I have ever known. He always put others first and never gave up on anyone. That's why I am not surprised at all that his last act on earth was to gift others life, giving others the ability to spend another holiday or birthday with their family members. Coach left this earth way too soon, but because of his decision to be an organ donor, he saved many lives. I would do anything to have Coach back with us, but tonight we celebrate the gift of new life and hope that Coach had the honor of giving others. I challenge all of you here to consider becoming an organ donor and potentially save lives just like Coach Bowsman did. A tribute from Philip's daughter, Maddie Bowsman. My dad was always my biggest role model, the one I looked up to for everything, the one who knew how to put my family first and loved them with everything I have. He was one of the most giving people I know, and for his final act to be giving others life is no surprise to me at all. This is the type of person my dad was. I'm unbelievably proud to call him my dad, not only for everything he did for others, but for choosing to be an organ donor and giving others the ability to have another chance at life. I love you with all of my heart, Dad, and can't put into words how proud I am of you for being an organ donor. Organ donation will forever hold a special place in my heart. I encourage everyone to join me and my family in becoming organ donors and give the gift of life to others.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and we are sitting here under a beautiful full moon that's rising there. In the words of John Fogerty, hopefully it's not a bad moon on the rise.
As we see, both teams have taken the field.
That's a good sign.
That's one of those, you're never quite sure until it actually happens. So both teams out on the field, Senators in their red uniforms, gray pants, silver helmets.
Lots of green out there tonight because they asked everybody to wear a little bit of green there for the organ donation program that keeps going on tonight, so that's pretty awesome.
Then we see Tecumseh on the other side there in blue pants, white shirts, red numbers, red helmets. So
I'm glad they coordinated that.
Yeah,
for
lots of red, white, and blue out here. But the Senators, this is the first time I believe we've seen this combination. We've seen the white pants with the red jersey, but not the silver pants with the red jersey.
Anything's better than those white pants.
White on white with silver letters make it a little hard to see, especially when you got your back to the field.
And you're sitting there in the middle of a hurricane like we were last week.
So the Senators did come out victorious last week over North Davies, where Tecumseh had Eastern Green that they were successful in
that's a win. They had come off a very good win at Crawford County, one that Coach Zabo talked about with me personally off the air about how he said everything was clicking. This is his first year at the school.
Yeah.
Something he didn't bring up in the interview there, but you think about how the short time that you have here with your players. I do see Nick Gallagher out there, who's most likely going to be their quarterback. If I was a betting man, he's a big, strong boy there. At senior, at 6'4", 195.
Right.
So we've got a lot of action. We've got a group of seniors here, and like we've talked about, that have just continually beat the tar out of that offensive defensive line, the hard line. We always say the keys of the week, and I think tonight we're going to see some of those some of the big time plays.
Yeah, exactly. The line is the key tonight, just like we've said the past couple of weeks. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you definitely you go with that, and that's what you hope to strive to the point where it's like Novocaine, just give it a little bit and it'll go through.
Yeah, we're going to step aside, have the interview that we had with that Brad had with Coach Gibby, talking about this week with Tecumseh.
And I didn't jinx the Dodgers, by the way. I tried to jinx the Dodgers at the beginning of this interview as much as I could, and I guess Kevin Cash was listening to it, so he said he had to get him a win. So,
well, with that, we're going to step aside, have that interview, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome to West Washington Livestream. This is Brad Mills sitting here with West Washington defensive coordinator Mark Gibson. Gibby, you're one win away from a World Series for your Dodgers. As we live and breathe, are they going to pull it out tonight? We're recording this on a Tuesday.
Game 6 is tonight. I'll be honest, it makes me too nervous. I kind of flip back and forth. I can't watch the whole time because it just makes me too nervous. It's been since 88, since Kirk Gibson's big. And Oral Hershiser kind of led them to that title in 88, and they've been so close here lately. So I just kind of keep tabs on the score, and if things are going well, I'll watch an inning or two. If not, but Rays are really scrappy. That's what I enjoy watching the Rays, because before this postseason, you kind of like those teams. You never heard of anybody other than maybe Blake Schnell. But now there's a few that are going to be household names going forward, and it's just like anybody, any level of sports. You want to make your mark in those big games, and they have some kids that do that, and we can bring this all the way back around. We've had some kids make their mark as well in some big games. Ethan Roberts had a great game. He's had actually the last 2 months. He's really progressed. But again, go Dodgers. I don't know about this one with Blake Snell going against a Johnny bullpen game, but we'll see what happens.
It can't be Clayton Kershaw's fault in the end. That's what they can't blame poor Clayton.
I want to go on record and say he's had those problems, and he's kind of struggled, but I think it's been usage more than anything, because I'll go everybody that how come Kershaw's no good in the playoffs, but just because he is Clayton Kershaw, he's been put into some bad situations, I think, by the managers, and I would too. He is Clayton Kershaw, but anyway, that's baseball. But
that's the last chance. That's the last chance we're probably going to talk about baseball. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to have to for a while. So let's refocus. We talked about Roberts and some of those guys. You look at a total team effort on. We brought that up, but holy shnikes! As cold as it was up there, and Elnora, Indiana, and North Davies there. Holy goodness, what a great performance by the Senators. And they get ready now to go against the Braves. We've talked to Coach up there, Coach Zabo, about some of the struggles they had, but they pulled out the win in tough conditions just like us. So those conditions, how much did that new offensive formation that we put in there, Shield, I believe it's called, that we put in, full house backfield? How did that really help you in the middle of a hurricane?
Well, obviously, and especially the first half pregame, we were doing our passing lines, and the ball's slipping out of Holden's hands even before he throws it, and receivers dropping balls, and in games like that, okay, especially first half, the wind was whipping there.
You hit for show and you putt for dough kind of phrase off a tin cup. Yeah. You kind of ground and pound to get those first downs, and in this case, a lot of yards. And, you saw North Davies quickly got out of their element from the start, where their whole game plan was really predicated on being able to throw the ball. Yeah. And, they had to modify theirs to where it was a lot of screens or small plays. And I don't know how many times it just seemed like everything from the snap to the quarterback that just didn't get there. And then, holy cow, like some of the plays that Glenn Rankin was like a magnet. I mean, he was just all over. I thought he had stickum on his hands from the way the ball kept coming to him.
Yeah, he recovered 2 fumbles, led us in tackles, 11 tackles, but that's nothing new. Glenn is always around the ball because his motor is so good, and he's just relentless on defense. He will get to the ball, or at least give every ounce of energy to do that every single play. I mean, there's just no drop off. He's got that thing revved up in the red from the moment the ball's snapped until the very next play. He takes 3 seconds of a break and then he goes right at it again. And that's really our defensive philosophy. We hand out scout packets every week, and I make sure, we make sure to say, okay, be relentless. Make them earn every yard, defend every blade of grass. So take your breaks when you need it, but when that ball is snapped, I want to see people playing fast and physical, and they do that. And they do it on both sides of the ball too. That's one thing that if you're not ready to play a physical ball game against our offense, you're really, and that's why, a team like Perry, and we'll see, Tecumseh's played some really good programs, really tough. They played a 13-0 ball game, held in there with Forest Park, another 2-score game with a really good North Posey team. They can fly around a little bit defensively, but again, you have to be able to play physically against the Senators because this group has been playing so long and they've played physically the whole time. They love it. They love to get down and dirty. So teams have to be able to prepare for that. And you talked about some of their snaps. We had one bad snap. I think they might have, I don't know, I lost count, and that goes to, okay, a quarterback saying, I have to be perfect. And then you start thinking about little, other things, and you don't do the little things like catch the snap in a bad weather game. And, even if you bobble a snap and don't drop it, it still messes up the timing of your offense, and that really worked in our favor as well. But you were right. They were going to throw the ball. I mean, if it was a nice game, they would have thrown the ball 35 times. But in that game, they kind of advantaged Senators, and they had to go to their little bubble screen package, and our guys just played fast, and they weren't going to allow them to block us. And again, like you said, Roper played really well. Braxton Sprouse played really well against screens. And again, Glenn and Charles, they fly around at linebacker.
And I talked about in pregame how it was a gut check time for the Senators as they come off here. On the road, it's cold, it's wet. You just rode in a car for 2 hours, in a bus, all the way up there for 2 hours. So that was something you couldn't overlook an opponent like North Davies. And they had a good crowd there for them, supportive. They're very passionate there. They've got a great facility. So they were somebody who, nobody wants to give in. That's the thing this time of the year. Tecumseh, we've already heard the interview from Coach Zabo about how they have some numbers down. But his kids, he brings up the point that that was one of the gutsiest efforts he ever had because, a 6-0 win. He said nothing was going our way, but we pulled it out. So you look at that now where you don't overlook an opponent, but what do you expect out of Tecumseh as we look forward in this next week?
Again, they're 3-4. We've just touched on it. They've shown that they can fly around and make some plays. They took their opening drive against Perry, went right down and scored, and unfortunately for them, things after that kind of went Perry's way. But this is a team that if we overlook them, we talked it yesterday in our walkthrough on Monday walkthrough, that if we don't take care of business, this is a team that can hang around. And in this, in sectional time, week 11, if you let a team hang around, and a team that's playing with house money, basically, they're just saying, okay, we're going up against this highly ranked team, just go out there and play. Well, if you let a team like that hang around, you're the one that has pressure on you, and they can keep playing free and fast. And you might look up and they can steal one from you. So we have to go out there, and we talked about we have to start fast, make them understand that we're not overlooking them. We are going to play football, and they should anyway. But how sports are. Sometimes you can get overlook a team. But if you do that in sectional time, you better watch out because you get handing those pads in real quick. So we talked about coming out and starting fast, playing physical from play one, and seeing if they can hang with us for 4 quarters.
And I know that we look at COVID always shapes how we, unfortunately, this year, and it shaped our own sectional. And, we've talked about not only Tecumseh, but they're, North Central getting basically a bye in the first round because Rock Creek wasn't able to participate. Here at school, we've worked on getting the kids kind of separated into pods and stuff. And I know some schools are even talking about sending their athletes virtual, which is not a good option because you need that. You have to be in school to really get that. Have the boys brought anything up about that? Like right now, or is it still like we've said time again, this mentality that they have is just something that's so focused on a goal that you don't have to worry about that?
Well, I mean, they're definitely focused. I mean, but we've talked about it before, after practices. You always, before you break down, let them go to the locker room. Coach Nance, he talks to him a little bit before, and just like every coach, before he lets them go each night. And it's something you have to talk about every single day. Shrink your circle. Don't be going out to places where you don't know, the people, or where they've been, and it's in the back. I'm sure it's in the back of their minds because, unfortunately, things can be taken away. Let's take a look at Tell City, one of their greatest teams ever in a long time. We're favored to win their sectional, maybe even going to the state finals, and they lost 6 starters. And from their team last weekend, they're at home now. They're getting ready for basketball, whenever that is. But COVID's always there. You have to be careful. You have to keep wearing the mask. And so we tell them, you have to do these things because we do have aspirations of going further. Focus isn't a problem. These guys are definitely focused on their goals. And the first one is it should be winning this Friday. And I told you, this is the round of 32. You always want to get to the Sweet 16 because in the Sweet 16 in high school football, that, at least in Indiana, that means you're playing for a trophy. And every game after that, you're playing for a trophy. So we always want to get to the Sweet 16. We've been to 11 of them. We want to make it 12, but to get there, there's Tecumseh standing in our way. And like you said, nobody wants to give in. Everybody wants to play as much football as possible. So like I said, the guys have to be focused. They have to be ready to come out and get on them fast. You get to this point, they are 3-4. They do have their quarterback's a big, strong kid, good athlete. And one of the guys, I think you mentioned, he said one of these kids that had a really good game last week really wasn't even a starter for him. I think it's number 9. I don't know what his name is. Clutter, maybe. Yeah. But he had a really good game against Eastern Green. And like we said from the very beginning, sometimes all that kid needs is a little time to make his mark, and that kid definitely did, and he's definitely on our radar. And so, we don't know. We don't know what they had before, but this kid can play, number 9, and we got to be ready for him and that quarterback. They run triple option out of Flexbone, so you have to make sure, especially at this time. Like I said, if you don't play that option well, it can help a team hang around. So we're definitely going to focus on that because they got some guys that can hurt us. If our DBs start coming up on that option, they'll pump and go. And he's got a big, strong arm. Like I said, I think he's 6'5", something like that. Big quarterback. Number 4, I think is Gallagher. I think Nick Gallagher's 6'4", 195, plays free safety for him too. Big arm. So yeah, we're gonna have to be ready to play. It's a lot like last week, and only it's gonna be a drier field, so their entire playbook will be open for them. I don't know about dry because they're talking about 3 inches of rain Thursday.
I know
it'll be sunny.
I know. At least if we don't have winds that are there, we'll take a ground and pound all night.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we'll leave this interview, Gibby, as we march on, hopefully, like you said, here in the round of 32 that we like, and get to move on, hopefully, to the Sweet 16. And hopefully the Dodgers are partying like it's 1988 when you guys are hearing this. If not, then I'm trying to my buddy Blake Snell, who's
with you being a Reds fan, I don't know if you're trying to jinx us or if you truly want the Dodgers to win. The Dodgers and Reds used to be, when they were in the same division, they used to be quite a matchup. So I'm not sure what you're trying to do to my Dodgers.
Well, I wish I had some money on the beginning of the year because anytime it's a shortened season, the Dodgers always seem to win a World Series. So
there you go.
I should have just went to Vegas and put some money on that, and we could have had a really good pregame spread probably for Friday night.
I feel really good if the Bulldog Oral Hershiser was on the mound tonight, but he's not. So we'll see what happens.
Well, hopefully they hit the cutoff man and do the little things and
catch the ball.
Yeah. So Will Smith might go from the goat to the hero real quick there. But thank you, Gibby, and we're going to head to some commercials here on West Washington Livestream.
A tribute from Philip's son and current West Washington football player, Holden Bowsman. If you knew my dad, you knew he was the one that was always giving. He has given me many reasons to be proud of him, but I've never been more proud of my dad than when he became an organ donor and gave the gift of life to others. We may have not got the time on earth with him that we wanted, but because of him, someone else is getting to have their relatives a little longer. He has always been my number one supporter and role model and impacted so many in his life that his final act of giving does not surprise me one bit. Dad, I love you with all of my heart, and I'm so proud that I get to call you my dad. Organ donation will always be special to me and my family, so if you have not already done so, I ask that you at least consider becoming an organ donor and giving the gift of life to others.
A tribute from Philip's wife, Beth Bowsman. Philip was the most amazing guy. He always put his family first. He put everyone before himself. Family was so important to him. He showed that same family love and atmosphere throughout his football program. The Senator football family is what it is today because of him. He always had a smile on his face, unless it was a Friday night and he was politely telling a ref that they were wrong. He was always positive and upbeat with a love life attitude. He had a heart of gold. He definitely loved big. He loved so much that being an organ donor was a given to him. It's amazing to think that because of him, other people have a second chance at life. There's no better gift. I have been proud of Philip for several things over the years, but nothing has made me prouder than to say that my husband was an organ donor. He gave the gift of life to so many. Please follow his example and become an organ donor. Senator Nation has faced a lot of adversity this past year, but we faced it together as a family, as we will continue to do. You all have loved and supported our family, and for that, we are forever grateful. Our Senator football family is a bond that can never be broken. Thank you for honoring Philip with us tonight. May we always be Bowsman strong and Senator proud.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Bobby Stevens. At tight end, number 8, Glenn Rankin. At running back, number 24, Roper McFeeder. At tight end, number 32, Jake Strange. At tackle, number 63, Bryce Brown.
At this time, if you would turn your attention to the south end zone and flag where Beth will be adding the Indiana Donor Network flag that flew over St. Vincent Hospital on the day of Philip Bowsman's honor walk. A moment of silence dedication written by West Washington alumni Allie Brown. We would like to take a moment to honor Coach Philip Bowsman. Philip was more than just a coach. He was a son, a brother, a husband, a father, an educator, and a friend. He was a shoulder to cry on, a leader to look up to, and a role model to aspire to be like. Philip touched so many people during his life. He was gifted with a loving heart and anyone that had the privilege of knowing him would agree that he poured love into every aspect of his life. He genuinely cared about people. He cared about his family, the students he taught, the players he coached, the educators he worked with, and even the strangers he met on the street. Philip was an organ donor who left his legacy. Coach Bowsman's legacy lives on through every life that he's touched, hands that he shook, and hugs that he's given. And now it lives on through his gift of organ and tissue donation. Though Philip didn't like being the center of attention, we know that he is smiling down on us now, and we know for a fact that he's proud of these boys for being special. During this time, we also want to remember the losses to the Senator family of this past week. Beth Armstrong was a supporter of all things Washington County and West Washington. Her unexpected passing was a shock to all of us and devastating to all that knew her. Her love and support for others is an example that will live on forever. Brian Chastain lost his battle with cancer last week. He fought with dignity and determination. He was always in attendance at his children's events at West Washington, and his wide smile was infectious and reflected the courage he showed throughout his battle with cancer.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the home Senators are taking on the Tecumseh Braves tonight. Been kind of an interesting evening so far, trying to get stuff going. Had a little bit of issue getting things out, so those of you who have tuned in on YouTube and on the IHSAA TV website, thank you for joining us here for another edition of Senator Football.
And thank you to those people listening on WWSR also.
Forgot about them.
On the app there. I guess that Jessica and Ants and a group up there we see on the hillside were all asking about how they could listen to us. So I was directing them. If all you have to do is go on your app store, WWSR, and you can look it up. I tell you what, anytime we get down to this point, I get the good chills going right now as we're getting ready to play some football here with 2:50 left. Predictions, Craig. Let's go ahead and what are you thinking?
I think this is the Senators' game to lose. I think that if they play how they have most of the season, they're going to be just fine. Coming out with a Tecumseh team who has been hit by some COVID bugs, some injury things.
And still a young team too.
And a young team. First year head coach at Tecumseh, like we said, Coach Sabo has been around. He's coached at some big schools. Has a nice win on his resume over Columbus East.
He's the last guy to have it.
Yeah, the last guy to beat them in conference, isn't it?
We were talking because I actually misquoted in the interview. Darren Russell, our athletic director, did the offense, not the defense.
Correct.
And I feel bad that I did that, but I don't think Darren was with him for that sectional run.
No, he wasn't.
Apparently, he had a little girl playing basketball.
Yeah,
more important,
something like that. So, interesting game here tonight where the Senators, not looking ahead at all, but really want to get this one.
You want to make a statement early. We talked about that last week. You're in sectional play. You don't want to play at the level of your opponents. You want to play above them.
And everybody knows that Perry and North Central are, they're going to be watching this game. They're going to see how this film looks, and this is a statement game for the Senators to be able to make.
I mean, I think it starts with this first kickoff here. You make something. I have not seen the toss, so I don't know if
I did not see the toss either. I was busy trying to get us, going out to the correct places. So we see down in the end zone, Holden with the donor flag, getting ready to come out, leading this team, along with the other two seniors, Jake Strange and Bryce Brown.
Hey, let's talk about Will Baker. We're very thankful to have him.
Very thankful to Will Baker. We found out that he is an excellent cameraman, so Will Baker is up on top pulling our video for us right now.
And that's our video right there?
Our video going
that's
out right
awesome.
This minute is Will Baker.
And I'm giving this man a pat on the back because he does about 90,000 things. People, you don't realize he's like a rocket science mixed with Bill Gates here, all in one. Somehow he does it. That's why when I'm by myself doing just the radio, it's a miracle I get on the air.
So tonight's matchup, Will is on our camera. We've got Brad calling the game, and we're running things the best we can. So we're getting out all over the place. But one score to shootout right now.
Yeah. Salem
is leading the Cougars 7-0 with almost 11 minutes left to go in the second quarter of play.
Yeah, they got the 7 o'clock start. Tecumseh's on Central Time, so of course we give them a little advantage, and that's okay. We hope to keep that because hopefully next week, one of those two teams you're going to be playing, whoever it is, you're going to be a 7:30 start too. So.
Yeah. So those of you out there listening, like we said, you can catch us on WWSR, the West Washington radio app. It's out there on iTunes. It's on Alexa, so if you have one of those at home,
say Alexa, play
WWSR, and it'll come up. You can also catch us on our YouTube page, along with the IHSAA webpage, ihsaatv.org. We're going out there now. Hopefully, had a little hiccup starting off, so hopefully everything's going out. If you're somewhere and you can't get us, shoot me a message and I'll point you in the right direction, hopefully.
And here's the coin toss, and Tecumseh will receive. They'll be heading to the north end zone towards the scoreboard. West Washington will be kicking off, heading towards the south end of the scoreboard towards the football complex there. I tell you, you will see the green. We talked about green. You're going to see a lot of the guys wearing the green spats tonight. It's not because they ran out of blue or red. That is the color for the donors, so that's why you'll see a little bit of green there. This week I'm glad more than next. No offense. The color always turns my stomach. I'm a Crawford County boy. I know that's your home color for your Trojans, so we see there. I tell you, we're going to have some action here right off the bat. Jake Strange is going to be booting this, and this is something I want to see how guys are going to fly down the field. I want to see who that first guy is who wants to tattoo somebody. So we'll see, because I'm seeing a lot of young, I am seeing some younger guys out there. I'm seeing very early on already some freshmen out there on some of these kickoffs. I'm seeing Dylan Keller out there. I'm seeing Grayson McCoy, and maybe giving some guys a shot here to get some reps in. Holloway, so but that also says to the strength. If you got Glenn Rankin over there, you got Bobby Stevens over here,
right?
And Andrew Lewis there. So Jake's going to kick us off, and man, we're getting ready here for the first game 2 of the semifinal here of the
sectional 48.
As we do that, and would like to thank all of our sponsors. We'll go through them as we go here. We get our first scoreboard update. We'll give our couple of them will go, and thank you guys so much for listening wherever you are. We're warm up here, actually.
Yeah. We are warm and dry.
We will do that anytime. Here you go, Jake with the kick, and it is a beauty. It's going to hit the ball about the 15-yard line, take up one bounce there, and it goes to number 9 there, and that is the man who was that we heard on the pregame there, Keegan Clutter, the junior. He's 6 foot. He's the running back. He's 175 pounds. I'm willing to bet we're going to see a lot of him tonight.
I would agree.
And I brought up Nick Gallagher as a big kid. You know, you look at that. He's a senior. Only 4 seniors, though,
yeah.
Greg. That's where if you're, in a single-A school, we won't have that problem for a couple years. We know that's coming, down the road a little bit. But, man, that's just a thing right here. All righty, so Tecumseh's coming in. They've got what I call the classic Valley look there, double wing. And they're going to have 2 guys to the right there. Jake Strange coming off that end over there. That's going to be a give up the middle. Number 7's got some daylight. Man, he gets a lot of yards there. That is Simon Hahn. And he's bringing a first down right off the bat there. So you see that pretty quickly there, and that's setting the tone for the Braves right off the bat. 2 good athletes there making some moves for them. So hopefully the Senators aren't overlooking these Braves. They're going to have to, come up there. You don't want to show anything on film for future games for sure. There's the snap. It's going to be another give up the middle. Nope, he's going to pull it back out. He's going to flip it backwards.
Pitch it backwards.
Oh, no.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground. It's still on the ground. And the Senators are going to recover. Wow.
Fumble recovery. I believe that's Roper McFeeters getting up with that ball.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can get a replay of that because that was just a series of unfortunate events there, Lemony Snickets. Because I tell you, the pitch from the quarterback does the great and then pitches it back, and then it just never gets there. And then at that point, I wish the running back would have just fell on it.
Would have fell on it, yep.
Because then you just got yourself as a second and long. But now you set up a very high-powered offense with the ball on their own 30-yard line here. It's actually the 28. So Roberts in early there. He's going to go. Oh, Holden's falling down. Oh, man, I tell you. Ooh, that was not good. He's going to get 3 guys, and he got hit high, low, and to the backside. And we talked about just making sure his Holden comes up limping a little bit there. So a little play action. Roberts was going to the left there, and Holden was looking for a quick strike. It looked like to Jake Strange to toss the ball over and just never got his footing. So we'll have to see what's going on over there for the Senators. It's going to be a second and long there as the Tecumseh Braves come up with a big sack. Ooh, that snap to Holden was a little wide. He's going to cut out wide. He's going to have to cut through one guy.
Nice stiff arm there by Holden. Gets turned upfield, going to gain quite a bit of that back.
Yeah, Holden is no stranger to rushing yards with 767 rushing yards on the year on 61 carries. Over 8 games, he's averaging 95 yards a game on the ground with 15 touchdowns, which blows me away that he has more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns. He's got 13. Now, that's just from teams like what we go with. Here you go. It's going to be a handoff to Bobby, and there goes the bowling ball up the middle.
He's met by a group of Braves and then brought down.
And so right there, nothing's easy against this team. Tecumseh's a good team like we talk about. You can't play the record. You can't play what's going on. You got about 2 yards there. It's going to be second down. The ball's on the 20. 18 is the line of gain there. So this will be a fourth down. This is going to be big right here.
Fourth and about 2.
And that is the shield formation. That is not the beef formation like I was trying to get it named. And that's going to be a handoff to Roberts. He's going to have Bobby blocking on the outside for him. He's going to be sprint free.
He gets the edge.
He's got it. And if you get Ethan Roberts to the sideline, he is going to get it.
Ethan gets in for a touchdown, Senators.
A 20-yard run for Roberts, and that is a great way for that sophomore to start his night.
I believe that was his first touch of the night, and he gets in on that, so that's a great way to start.
I tell you what, he's a young man who's got 246 yards rushing on varsity, and I would hate to know how many times he had to run the ball on JV because I think he was our offense on JV sometimes. All righty, here we go. 2-point conversion. Roper will be to the left of Holden. There's Roberts in the middle. It's going to go to Roper up the middle, and I believe he falls in. He does. He got hit, but he got hit into the end zone. So we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. Thank you to all our sponsors.
Bishop Seed is more than just seed sales. They're a multifaceted business. Owner Brady Bishop is a channel seedsman who knows your fields and can recommend an elite product designed to perform in your area and maximize the profitability of every acre on your farm. Bishop Seeds also offers chemical sales for the ever-expanding chemical industry and a variety of cover crops to help keep erosion down and yield up. They also offer climate field view so you can make a data-driven decision to maximize the return on every acre. Reach out and give Brady a call at 812-620-4624.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and that was one of our scoreboard sponsors there, Channel Seed, Brady Bishop, and we'd also like to thank our other scoreboard sponsor, Stewart Seed, Michael Trueblood there. Great night for football. A great play there for the Senators. They're going to be kicking off here from their own 40 and trying to pin the Braves back deep.
Jake back to boot this one away. It's about the same as the first one.
But this guy is
right
there.
to the 15.
Number 13 there. I think it was 12, actually. Ooh, man, he's going to be mad. It's 13, and he is not on the roster as I sit here and look. I'm looking, and I do not have a 13 on my roster. That's kind of a younger guy, like we said. He is stuffed right there, though, as soon as he caught it. And that's going to be about the 28, yes. Definitely like being able to see the field this week more than last. I'm not going to lie.
With your back to it a little bit.
I am not going to be mad when we hear somebody open the door in the background this week after, all.
It was windy, but it's nice and quiet in here. The Braves come out with their offense that has been quiet tonight so far.
Yeah, they've got the potential for some plays there. It's going to be interesting to see the Senators if they make some adjustments here. And that's going to be a sweep out wide to number 9 there, Clutter. We talked about that. But he's going to be stuffed.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground again, man. Okay.
Well, back official already pointing that the ground caused that fumble. So
yeah. So the side official threw the beanie down, but giving us there. Great pressure there by Mike Leach and Bryce Brown. And I talked to Charles Madden. I didn't get to call his name a lot last week, and I was kind of struggling there. I was like, man, I didn't tell your name much. He's like, I didn't play the second half. I said, I knew he was getting double and triple teams.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah.
That's what you pay for, and Glenn Rankin came through. I think maybe they thought Glenn wasn't and Glenn made some people pay. And we have a penalty.
We're going to have a penalty on the Senators. Looks like
a personal foul.
A personal foul. Going to move that ball forward.
Wow. I wonder, was it did we get it face mask, Friday?
I didn't see the actual signal, so.
Face mask. Okay, so we're hearing face mask here in the booth. We kind of go off on some tangents sometimes as we look. So that's going to give a free first down for Tecumseh.
Braves come set again, ready to run their wing offense.
I don't know if they'll have a pass here, but I tell you what, they love that middle, and it's not going to get anywhere.
It's not going to be there.
They were able to
on
get
that play.
They went off tackle on that first series. Bryce Brown comes up along with Jake Strange, and I believe that's Landon Pearson there. I got to watch not to call him his dad's name, Jared, who I went to school with. I did the other night, and we've had he's one of the – I think he would have been insulted by that. But Landon, believe it or not, is the tallest person in his family.
Really?
Yeah, all his uncles and aunts who I went to school with, he's the tallest person. So it happens. It's good. I'm glad he's here at West Washington. Here we go, and that's going to be a quick snap up the middle. And he's actually going to pull back. Man, he's going to be looking. He's going to get plowed to that sideline. And thankfully, everybody's up. Everybody rolls off.
That's going to be bring up a third down and about 10.
Nick Gallagher is really good at selling that inside give. He's a senior quarterback. And I don't know if this is similar to what Tecumseh ran in the past offensive-wise. I didn't really get in the X's and O's too much, but they do seem – there's some fluidity to it. Now, personnel is a different ball game. And, I wonder with Coach Sabo, where he's at Evansville North, where he probably had guaranteed 3 times as many kids on his team as he does here. Now, unfortunately, there for him, he was probably going up against teams that had 5 times as many kids, because North is a big school playing in the biggest conference. They are 6A, I believe, right? Yeah.
I don't know that one off the top of my head, but
I'm willing the Huskies are probably. And there's going to be great. That was a great fake pitch out to the inside, and then the inside give there, but it is snuffed there by
they ran right into where Charles was blitzing from.
Yeah,
so.
And then Andrew Lewis and Charles Madden and Bryce Brown coming in there, I believe. So we got that. We're going to see a whole crew. Look at this. This is 4th down. So there comes on the punt team. Holloway, Roberts,
Van Cleve,
and Grayson McCoy. And then it looks like Garrett Cooper coming on there. I'm sorry, 61 would be the other Van Cleve. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's off the side of the foot and going to go out of bounds at the 43.
Wow, so it does not get very much for him.
Nope. Going to gain about 12 yards from where they were. So.
We going to stay here?
Going to stay here.
Okay.
The Senators going to bring out their offense again. Already up 8-0.
So what is it like actually getting to look at the field then, not have to?
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's like, what do you do?
A couple times he keeps a couple times you've reached over there to move the camera.
To move the camera.
And you don't have to. Don't move because you'll mess up the scoreboard there. Some of the coolest technology, if you guys don't know, Mr. Akers here has it's actually on the scoreboard there. All righty, Holden dropping back, and he's going to let it fly. No, he's going to run it. He's going to shake and bake. He's moving.
Nice run there by Holden, who then steps out of bounds at the 44.
Great pursuit there by Aiden Arnold of the Tecumseh Braves, just trying to get a fingernail, a toenail.
Some way to get Holden out of bounds.
And Holden getting those extra yards, and I remember him in his sophomore year, and even Matt told me last year when we were on the other side, on the radio side, he was saying that like Holden would used to run out and just not engage people, but like he saw him coming out like last year towards the end where he wasn't as scared and just kept but he's also a lot bigger. All right, here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to McFeeters. McFeeters has got a big hole. He just hurdled somebody.
Airborne.
And he comes down hard but pops right back up. Wow, on the 38-yard line, he tucked the Nestea plunge.
When Charles Madden is on the ground and you're going over the top of him, that's usually not a good thing, but Roper seems to make it work.
Friday Night Lights is like one of the least realistic football movies on earth, but that was a play that would have been in Friday Night Lights.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes in there, and so I think we're going to see a quick little play action here where it's 2nd and short. Bobby Stevens maybe on a wheel route over on that side. We got a penalty. It's going to be false start against the Senators, and I thought maybe on the left side of the line.
Yeah, somebody over there moved. I don't know if it was Big Mike.
General or somebody over on that side. Yeah. It just from the way that we saw it.
Just the body language of them walking back. It was one of them.
We found out tonight's crew is from Terre Haute. Support your officials. Be nice to them, unlike me sometimes. So
IHSA is always looking for officials. You can get your license in up to 3 sports. So
yeah. So man, right here, great fake by Holden. He's off and running. He's going to meet the other quarterback there, Gallagher, and he's going to finally
does a nice job of tucking that ball and then getting what he can and then getting down.
Kai Silk there. With it, I'm going to say it's either Silk or Silky. Silke. Is that Silk or Silky? What do we want to call him?
I would say Silk.
I'm going to say Silk. If you happen to be from Tecumseh and you're watching the game, feel free to try to hit us up on some media. Help us out there. I know
we'll be glad to.
We hope to
change it if we're saying it wrong.
And there's going to be a handoff for McFeeters. He's coming off the side. He's going to bounce outside. He's in there.
Touchdown, McFeeters.
Wow, he takes it up and just falls behind. Bobby Stevens deserves 0.5 of that touchdown from that block because he went right, and then McFeeters basically just hits the right thumb button and goes to the left, bounces outside. So great start here for the Senators. Up 14-0, 5:20 left here in the first quarter. So McFeeters with a 20-plus yard run there.
We're out with our 2-point conversion crew.
McFeeters had the first one. This one looks like it's going to be Bobby's. Holden falls down.
Holden falls down, but Bobby's still going to walk in. So nice athletic move there by Holden. Bobby gets in, brings the score 16-0. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from the Washington County Community Foundation, and we'll be back in just a moment.
In 2015, we launched the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. This is phase 2 of the Happily Ever After project. With the assistance of several local donors and sponsors, along with 5 years of fundraising by the Washington County Youth Foundation, we finally had enough resources to launch the service. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is a free service that mails age-appropriate books to all required Washington County children under the age of 5. Although the faces of the leadership of the Washington County Community Foundation have changed over time, as is always the case with any healthy, thriving organization, the core values and mission remain the same. We continue to work diligently to assist our donors in creating a legacy that is meaningful to them. All of our success is directly related to the generosity of the sons and daughters of Washington County. We will continue to help our donors give back to our community through our foundation and improve the quality of life in our county.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR. The Senators getting ready to kick it off here. Jake Strange, 5:20 left in the first quarter. West Washington up 16-0 over the Tecumseh Braves. And we've got people helping us out there. That young man's last name was Silky. So
yeah. Those of you out there watching, if you get a name that we say wrong and you can spell it out phonemically, we'll be glad to
we're trying
to say it. We actually have two that are jumping in saying that it's Silky.
Good. Lane Patterson there he picks it up, but just really couldn't get ahead of steam there. And we appreciate everybody watching. I hope we're hopefully not boring you too much. We are homers a little bit. I'm more of a homer than Craig. He's a little more professional than me. But we appreciate you watching us, because if you are safe, I'm glad, because, there's a lot of stuff, COVID-19, but also the weather. The travel on a lot of people is a big deal right now. All right, Tecumseh coming up here. It's going to be 1st and 10. They're going to be on the 28-yard line there. About where they started all night.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a give up the middle, but
nope,
he's going to keep
be a
it. Wow.
Pitch.
Great
Holden
play.
Comes out, lowers his shoulder, and then there is Glenn Rankin to clean that one up.
Yeah. And I tell you, that got me. That was good. That got me. I'm like, okay, he's got, from the angle that I looked at, and I was not looking for that. But, man, we go back to Gallagher being a great on that option there. And hopefully Holden grabbing his shoulder there. He took a shot there.
He lowered his shoulder.
Yeah.
Probably not what Coach Nance wants to see.
Nah.
The offensive Coach Nance is down there.
Yeah.
Gibby probably loves it.
That's the difference between that and
the offensive coaches and the defensive coaches. So,
okay, he's still got it now.
Still got it. Going to be a pitch,
and it's going to be snuffed out after a small. Actually, getting back to about the line of scrimmage there.
And even though Jake Strange is not in on that tackle, he's what caused that to turn back in, because he was out wide, playing his role, protecting that edge, setting the edge, making the back come inside, which is where the Senators have help.
Senior Lane Patterson there, you can tell he's probably playing behind some younger and experienced guys, because he's got a good first step.
Yeah.
And he's just not able to get to that second level that you would. Okay, I'm telling you what, I think we may see a little pass here if I was a betting man. Yep, and here it comes, and it's going to be dropped off right there.
Nice play on that side by Parker Green to knock that ball down. It gets there. It gets in the hands of the receiver number 7
there, Simon Hahn.
And then Parker Green is able to come across and knock that one down.
And that's a play that Parker, I don't know, like a couple years ago would have made.
Yeah.
And we talk about that. He's a kid who came in during eighth grade, started playing football. So that's something that you kind of get as you get a little older, a little wiser. Here's that's going to be a double snap, but what a great way to get that off, man. As Van Cleve avoids it, it goes to McFeeters. McFeeters picks up. He's got a head of steam. He's going to cut to the outside. He's got a big return if he can do this. Can he do it? He's got one more guy. Grayson McCoy throws the block, and McFeeters
gets in.
For about a 60.
I'd give him 63 on that one.
Yes, 63-yard touchdown. I was so worried that Grayson
McCoy does a nice job throwing a block on number 9 for the Braves.
They're Keegan Clutter.
And allows Roper to get into the end zone. So nice job there by Grayson, the freshman coming in laying a block.
A lot of younger guys in on that throwing blocks, and so that's a good sign, because we see a lot of the bigger guys coming off. Is now we have to reset And for Tecumseh, that play could just not have gone any worse because
it was
the ball
it was a bad snap.
Double skipped.
Got him off.
Yep.
Where they should have been going, and then just it was bad from the start and got
Holden
worse.
Is going to shake and bake. Wow.
I was completely lost on that.
I watched. I was good on that one.
I watched Bobby come in on this side,
yeah.
and Holden's got the ball on the other side. So we're going to step aside, take a commercial break from Edward Jones with Ryan Kemp. We'll be back in just a moment. With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs are keeping you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ryan Kemp, can help you. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, you can work together to help ensure you are prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. For more information, please call Ryan Kemp at 812-620-5604. Edward Jones, Marketing Sense and Investing, member SIPC.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, we were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. And here we are, right here, right now.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and we are cooking right now. 3:24 left in the first quarter. West Washington leading 24-0. It has been all Senators all night.
The Senators, are just rolling on what they've done all year. They've been able to get the run game going, and then it opens up the pass game. I would guess we're going to see, a healthy dose of Jake Strange.
Yeah, and we got some high-quality H2O being fed to the Senators, I guess, because they have went at it. Tecumseh took a timeout, which deservingly so. We talked about that. They're young teams. You get this point, you need to kind of circle the wagons. Pardon the Old West reference there. For the Braves as we look there, but this is turning into the battle of Tippecanoe here.
Oh,
sorry.
There we go. You couldn't get it out.
I couldn't get it out. Well, Tecumseh wasn't at the battle.
No,
we brought this up. His brother, the Prophet, and we got a timeout, I think, by the Senators on this side. Or are we still waiting? But good little history lesson here. The Prophet, who was basically Tecumseh's brother, was put in charge of Prophetstown, which was outside of Lafayette, and Tecumseh just heads south for a little bit, a little vacay or whatever. He's going somewhere else, and then the Battle of Tippecanoe breaks out, William Henry Harrison, and then that goes down. And I actually lived on Tecumseh Street, believe it or not, in Vincennes when I went there, so 10 East Tecumseh Street.
Those of you Washington County people, Salem is leading 27-0.
Wow.
At halftime, they punched in a score just as the half was ending.
Man, and the Lions want the shot. They want the creek, man. They want to take on the creek there. We've got we're watching. Thank you very much, Mr. Akers. He watches that, and as we'll go through the full scores there. Definitely a lot of action around.
Oh yeah, there's games everywhere. 5 and 6A are starting their sectional play tonight, where 4, 3, 2, and 1 are in their second week of it. So
and there's one less round in 5 and 6, right?
Right.
So did they play a regular season game last week, or did most of them take a bye?
No, most of them have. All of them, I believe, have
a bye.
Last week off.
So I've got a score from Perry Central. Perry Central 14, North Central 0. So that's a score. If you're not following Southwest Indiana Sports on Twitter, SWI_sports, give them a follow. They're a great follow on Twitter. And hey, Bob, if you're not, look up WW Livestream.
WW Livestream. You can always join in on that group or that Twitter feed. You'll get all the updates of the game links, and you'll get them early.
And if you're looking for Center Athletics, I know Athletic Director Darren Russell would love it if you would follow us on there. I have to look at that one. That's WW Centers.
Yep. So lots of Twitter feeds, lots of Facebook pages out there. Join them all.
Fill your feed with good stuff right now, So we'll see that as we come upon election purge, whatever season we got coming up here on Tuesday. I know the real winner will be Advil because one side will probably need it. As Jake Strange kicks off, we're back to football, and that was political talk here. Here we go. It's a quick ball's going to be bouncing right off of the hands of the receiver, but he's going to be taking a huge hit there.
He takes a big hit.
Roberts?
I'm not sure who that was.
I thought
up the middle.
Up the middle. Ethan Roberts, or was that
No. I think that's 72.
Holloway there.
I think 72.
Yeah, Holloway there. I tell you.
It was Ethan Roberts. It was Ethan Roberts.
Okay, Clayton Holloway was there, and that's a kid we talked about who's kind of been he's been stuck at the lower level because he would probably be starting most years. But hey, he's still a little green. You can look at it, and that's really cool. You see these kids get an extra year of seasoning on them. So here we go. The Braves trying to get something here going. It's 3:18 left. And it's going to be a pass over the middle. It's going to be picked up by Parker Green.
Parker Green trying to get to the outside.
And he's going to
does a nice job of stepping out of bounds there. The pass was intended for, I believe, 13.
Yeah, that's the one young man we don't have his name, and I hate that. I don't know who that would be.
Okay. And I believe the reason that pass was picked off was 13. His shoe came off. I saw him putting his shoe on, so I think his shoe popped off and wasn't able to make the cut, and Parker was right there to pick up the ball.
Okay. I'm wondering how long possession time that Tecumseh, we're looking at in their first quarter. I know that's a stat we don't have, but it's definitely been all Senators here. And they've scored quick. As Bobby's going to be running to the left, he's going to just plow through that thing.
And the Braves do a very nice job of gang tackling Bobby, which is what you've got to do.
You can't get around Bobby. I mean, that's his legs and his strength. He's a kid who gets knocked down, and I tell people, watch this. He just pops right back up.
Yep. And those of you who saw the Twitter release of Bobby, I believe that was his freshman year, getting the ball and bouncing outside. Yeah. That's not the Bobby we have anymore. No. Bobby is going to lower his head.
It's all kinds of shit. Oh, goodness. And Bobby kind of presses the –
Yeah, Bobby tries to throw a block there and ends up blocking the Tecumseh player right into Holden.
All kinds of bad shape there as we just complimented him. That's all right. The Senators are getting a little fancier there as they try. And I mean, that's where the blitz pickup there wasn't as good as it was supposed to be. And I mean, you look at the young man in the middle there for him, and that's what they have some size for sure. Right
76 going off the field right now. Isaac Hill.
Caleb Hutchinson, I believe, is that number 60 there, I believe, in the middle. He was a big guy. 75, sorry, there. That is 76, Isaac Hill. All righty, and Bowsman's
going to roll.
He's going to toss Parker over here to this side, and Parker comes up with a great possession catch.
Going to step out of bounds at the 28. Gains most of that, lost yardage back.
Yeah.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 8, get back to the manageable
That's one of those Wayne.
I'm on the wrong side. Yeah. At the 28, going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah. And that was one of those Wayne Corbett type just possession catches that you see a lot of guys. I'd say nowadays maybe a Julian Edelman, like just making that catch and getting those extra yards. But he sets them up really well here. Bobby in motion there. And it's going to be a handoff to McFeeters at the middle. Man, I knew
McFeeters is not going to get that.
That's going to be a turnover.
The Braves see that play on film and know what's coming.
Yeah.
As Bobby comes across the
Lane Patterson and Jade Fledmeyer, both there meeting. They were the welcoming committee there for Mr. McFeeters, and that just kind of shunned it right there real quick.
So that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Senators. The Braves are going to get the ball at the 28, which is where they start most of their possessions.
Goodness gracious, it is 1:19 left here in the first quarter. West Washington leading 24-0. So definitely, I'm telling you, and Tecumseh, you're seeing it just playing really. I mean, they've had some moments. They played really well. Here you go. That's going to be the pitch to the outside, and again,
ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground again as Jake Strange
gets there to help clean up that tackle after the Tecumseh player is on the ground already.
Simon Hahn does what we asked earlier, okay? That ball right in that possession, he's not able to pick it up and make.
No, he's not going to make anything out of that.
No. What he has to do is he has to preserve that possession.
Yep.
He falls on it. You live to play another day. There's another Waterboys reference there.
And this is where the Braves get behind the sticks because now it's going to be
double sticks.
1st and 28.
Yeah. 28 again. There you go. Yeah. We just keeps coming for us here as we look. 38 seconds left. Motion to the left side there. That's Clutter. They're going to hand it off up the middle to Hahn. Hahn's going to get swallowed up. I tell you, Bryce Brown and Charles Madden.
Yeah,
and
we got Roper coming in from behind to finish that one up.
It reminds me of reminiscent of the old Royal Rumble days in the WWE when you just see this big pile of guys just all trying to shove somebody out of the ring. And sometimes you got some immovable objects, and then sometimes you got guys that can just flatten somebody very quickly there. Pretty amazing that you see the Senators have really been rocking here. It's going to be 24-0. And that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. We're going to step away, but you're listening to West Washington Football on West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington Football.
In 2012, the Washington County Community Foundation began working on its next big initiative, Education Matters. The goal of Education Matters is to increase the educational attainment of adults residing in our county. The initial focus has centered on adults with some college and no degree. With the assistance of scholarships and a peer mentoring program, the foundation began helping adults return to college to complete their degree or obtain a certification in 2013. Realizing that strength lies in numbers, Washington County partnered with Clark, Floyd, Harrison, and Scott counties to create Education Matters Southern Indiana. This initiative continues to build.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Senators are leading 24-0. One updated score I want to throw out there, 28-0. The Lions are up over the Cougars. They are being led tonight by Reese McCoskey with 2 pick sixes.
Wow.
Taking it to the house after he picks them off. So congratulations there too.
He's pulling a Robin Hood there all the way there, just taking it right off the bat. And we're looking here, Perry Central up 21-0 over North Central. And then just to score some of the big guys, my buddy James Bragg over there, 14 for Floyd Central, Jeffersonville 14. That's just a battle of where they don't like each other whatsoever. So we'll see what happens there as they're battling.
Gonna throw a shout out to somebody who many of you probably don't know. Heath Shannon does a great job with the IHSAA. He is the one who takes care of all the educational broadcasts out there. Just doing everything tonight. He's actually producing the soccer finals that are going on tonight. So
I see that, Central Catholic and Park Tudor.
Yeah, so he's actually the one producing that. So big shout out to him. He helps me a ton anytime I've got a question. I give him a call.
They're tied in the second overtime.
Yeah.
So is that for the single? That'd be the single A there?
That's the single A girls state champion.
Wow. Here we go is the inside give there is going to be, man, I tell you, and that's what we talked about. You give him some room there, and that gets Lane Patterson there again. I mean, he's a great runner. He has to find his hole, and like we said, there's not too many holes in the Senators' defense right now.
Yeah. Number 13 is Gabe Bradley.
Thank you so much. So Gabe Bradley, okay, and he was 24 before.
He was.
All righty. Thank you to some of the great
April Hopkins. Thank you to her.
Thank you, April. We appreciate it. We're trying to help out where we can. We want to make sure that we be respectful, and I have nothing but respect for anybody who's playing this time of the year because we're gonna have a punt, and it's actually gonna be a pass. Oh, it's going to be a quick kick that Jake Strange.
Jake with a nice block there on the rugby style. And tries to kick that one away, but the rugby style runs right into 6'5" Jake Strange.
Well, in the words of Dikembe Mutombo, no. And
what a way to start the second quarter of play.
Wow. So that is going to – so if he hits that, we would get it, out wherever, man.
Out where it went out,
If I was Jake, I would have took a good – I know he was right there, but that was good. You could grab it, but Jake just practicing those blocks that he's going to use all basketball season when they get started here in about 9 weeks, right? So we can get that. So hopefully we're still playing football for a long time. T-backfield here for the Senators. Stevens and Roper there. It's going to be a handoff to McFeeters. McFeeters going to come off the side. He's going to get shoved down right there by Simon Hahn, but it looks as if he might have gotten a yard, if at all, back to the line of scrimmage. He got about a yard. 11:03 left here in the second quarter. West Washington leading 24-0 over the Tecumseh Braves. So
haven't sent this out there yet, but the Twitter hashtag for this game is Senators versus Braves. So if you've got that out there in your
DS Braves, if you got it, then do it. And even if you are from Tecumseh, please, you'll pop up on our feed.
Yeah, you'll pop up on our feed. So
we appreciate you there as you guys go. We like you guys a lot better than those Pioneers down there. So there we go. Maybe we'll get us a little love by saying that. So the Boonville Pioneers and the Tecumseh Braves there. I drove through there past that exit many times going to Vincennes University. And then my cousin, who's my best friend, went to the University of Evansville. So definitely down there. I talked University of Evansville football with Coach Sabo and trying to get him he's like, no, the Purple Aces aren't coming back. But USI should start a football program, but you don't want to do it right now. So
yeah.
That's what's crazy. I can't believe Evansville does not have a college football team. And right here, oh, man, I tell you.
That's a nice throw or a nice read there by Holden. Just doesn't execute the throw where he needs to.
Parker Green would have had to tap the turbo button there to get there real quick. And, he was kind of stuck in first gear there. He never really got to second to help him out. So it'll be fourth down here.
A surprise guest is going to join us during the halftime show. We're hoping that we can get it all to work out. But we've got a surprise guest for halftime. We're going to leave you guys hanging out there who are watching and listening. So
it's Holden's going to take. We got a hold.
We got a hold. Holden going to get in, but we're going to have a hold.
Hold. And I tell you what,
Big Mike has his hands up, like, oh, we got a touchdown. But I think the hold is actually going to be on Big Mike.
Yeah, that or, it just seemed like they're going over here as I'm looking. Man, that's going to be pushing them back. I wonder if Rosenbaum's going to try to kick a field goal from that far. No, that's a little bit out of Ian's range there.
Yeah, maybe a touch out of Ian's range.
Now, where they were at, they might have been able to do that, but Center's going to try to treat this one. Probably go to the air. I tell you what, this is where you see a drag with Jake.
Yeah, I can see Jake picking up something here.
Yeah, I think a stop and go of some sort with Jake to where he can shake. But the only problem is he's got the best defender on that side, defensive back Nick Gallagher there for the Braves, the quarterback. Okay, there's the motion. There's the chance. I think if it's going to be to the right side right now, it's the time to go.
Jake coming across the field.
Holden. Oh, just overshoots it.
Overshoots it. So the Braves are going to take over on downs here.
And that's the second time. Holden looks like he's almost just trying to push the ball too much.
Yeah.
Usually he has some amazing touch on his passes, and then tonight it just kind of seemed like that. As I have seen some people here tonight that are, possibly looking at some players. Hopefully they're just. Hopefully he's not trying too hard. He's just doing what he's supposed to, and it'll be all right.
Some of those Salem people who are tuning into us as they sit in the stands there.
Oh, really?
Gibson Southern trailing Southridge 7-0 after the end of one.
Wow.
So that's the other game in your guys' sectional.
And so they would not have to go till next week. Would they have to come to Salem?
No, that should be on the road for Salem, since Salem's had 2 home games in sectional.
Yeah, that's true. You can't have all 3 of them.
Yep.
And
so
that's what I don't mind being on the road week 1 of sectional, because then you can probably weasel your way into 2.
Yeah, looking ahead. Not that we want to do that at all, but the Senators would be at home next week, no matter who wins.
Yeah.
The Senators would be at home.
Now, was Tecumseh at home or on the road last week? I didn't.
They were at home. Last week.
Okay, they were at home. Okay, so that was as we talked about what they found out, and that ball is just going to be.
I think they were at home. Now that I say that, I'm not real sure.
I tell you what, nothing up the middle there. It's going to be stuffed. Okay, actually, he got a yard or two. It's going to be third, and right now about 7. And it's going to be 8:44 left here. Tecumseh leading, West Washington leading 24-0.
Also, those of you from the PLAC area, Paoli is at Triton Central tonight. A little bit of bad news for them. They don't have Caleb Van Meter, their starting quarterback, or Braxton Elliott, their starting running back. So,
what happened there? Injuries? Or?
I don't know that for sure, and I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man, here you go. A little play action. The outside, and that ball sails up to us here in the press box.
Cade Powers is the closest.
Cade Powers
one to get to that.
Van Cleve's like, I got the pick down here. He's got on the sidelines as he looks to throw the ball back to the official. I like that. That was a little double reverse fake, and that's where you look at Gallagher, the quarterback there, senior new, just to get it away. He said, just throw it away. We'll punt it here. And
like I said earlier, 1A girls in 2 OTs still haven't settled anything. Still 0-0. So
when do they go to PKs?
Right now, they're going to
Oh
PKs
my
right now.
gosh.
Park Tudor and Lafayette Central Catholic going to penalty kicks for the 1A state championship.
I tell you, that's when soccer becomes really exciting, when it's all penalty kicks.
I was never a soccer fan growing up. Really didn't know much about it. My youngest does play soccer, so I'm learning as she plays. I learn. So
I attempted to coach 4-year-old soccer this year. It didn't go very well. I spent most of my time trying to keep kids their hands off each other. It's not good when you're an administrator and you're used to, you
well, and the fact that COVID's going on and you're not supposed to be
Yeah.
touching people.
I may or may not have during practice had 2 kids hold my hand just because I knew they didn't want to touch anybody else. As Bobby's going to break the outside,
get out
and
wide.
can he keep trucking? He's got a full head of steam, and he's got one guy who's going to get him there, and that's Gallagher, and he's going to take him
Going
out.
to be pushed out of bounds after a gain of 20.
Dick Gallagher there. He was like one of the brothers of Oasis there. He was going to be the one that saves me. He's the Wonderwall. There you go.
There you go. There's your music reference
for the night there. As Bobby's always churning out the hits, I guess you could say. Great kid there. As I caught a bunch of the boys throwing a football around before the game tonight. Here we go. Oh, man, I tell you what, Roper just gets
caught in the backfield by 3, and we're going to get a flag on a face mask.
Face mask there I tell you what, I don't know if it was Silky there or one of those guys, but when you hold somebody up like that and some guy pops him and you saw his head fly back, so that's probably what we'll get.
Yeah.
It does concern me. I wonder what, we've seen that a couple times tonight, and I don't know if maybe we're just missing some blocks or our personnel or, you're looking at that, but you hope to, as you go each level of the playoffs, you want to keep playing more and more on, you want to be perfect because one of those plays are the difference in a game. We remember the regional versus North Decatur last year.
Yeah.
Those are things that you have. As Holden's going to keep it, and he's going to go.
Get out to this side.
He's got one guy to beat, and he takes him down. That's, we look
nice
at the,
job by 13 there.
Gabe Bradley there. We finally got you, Gabe. We gave you a shout out there. Man, great play. But that's a good run, though. Gives us the first down? Question mark? Yes.
Oh, they're going to move the sticks. So
well,
yeah.
Okay. So
I like that, Mr. Mills.
Mr. Tankersley is on the. He's got the number, but everybody else was kind of staying put.
Shout out to those fans from Tecumseh who are watching. They did say I was correct, and they were at home last week.
Okay, great. As Roberts is going to just keep churning. And I love seeing that guy getting in some runs because that's taking a lot of miles off of other guys right now too, so that you can sit there. And Ethan can run. Behind this line, he can run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I've said it. It was our pregame thing. If the line does what they do, we're going to be successful. And Ethan, looks great behind this line. Bobby looks great behind this line. Roper looks great behind this line. Holden looks great behind this line. So a lot of credit to the line for what they do.
So Holden is going again. He's going to cut it outside. He's got lots of yards, but man, he'll get spun around. I tell you what there, and he goes down hard. Wow, and we got a flag
We got a late flag coming in.
Yeah, so what that call was there, Aiden Arnold on that hit, I don't know what we had. So
we're going to get a face mask. There's no doubt on that, the way Holden's head whipped around.
Yeah,
that's
so
going to be a face mask.
Half the distance to the goal, and it's going to be on the 11, so that's going to put us 5.5, 6 yard line there or so, man. And that's just one of those plays. I'm just like, every time right now, I'm just like, let's keep guys healthy in this, and I know we're running the offense and stuff. And that's what I don't know if I'm seeing a lot, or if maybe the fact that we're dropping back, are Tecumseh's blitzes that they're throwing at us, are we just not picking them up as quick?
I don't know exactly because we run a lot of zone blocking, so when you blitz, it throws that zone blocking off just a little bit.
Yeah. And there's that quick pass he wanted earlier, and he got it this time.
Nice catch there by Parker Green for a touchdown.
Parker comes up over Aiden Arnold there, and that one had a little zip to it, but
Holden wasn't going to leave that one short.
No, and that's where Parker comes up and runs that quick inside slant there that we like to see, and I do wonder as we go on here, that's what I mean. I know Holden wants to play at the next level. He will play at the next level. I think that he will have a great chance to play and contribute. As we're having an offsides call on the lineman there, it looks like number 76, Isaac Hill. He just shook his head.
And the funny part about that is Jaron Roll stands up and he's like, "Wait, am I supposed to be standing up now, or should I still be down?" So the Senator offensive line gets set.
There we go with the shield backfield, and it's going to be Holden. He's going to take it and bake it and spin and win.
Spin and get in.
And spin again and then flips the ball. Wow, so it is.
Which he forgot. You flip the ball to the official, and they give it right back to you to get off on your sideline.
Yeah, as we go. And we're going to step away for a quick message. Who are we going to?
Let's go to Stuart Seeds with Michael Trueblood.
Here we go. Thank you, Michael.
Your success is Stuart Seeds' success. That's the idea behind their 100% replant eligible program for grower customers. You deserve peace of mind even during an unpredictable season. Maximizing your profit potential comes down to identifying challenges and capitalizing on opportunities. Stuart Seeds' agronomy library keeps you up to date with local agronomy insights to help you navigate through the season. Our team members make it a priority to work with your unique needs to find the best solution available. Get to know everyone on our team, from the field sales representatives to our technical agronomists. Building trusted relationships starts with sharing what we know with our Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio neighbors just like you. Stay up to date on the latest local agronomy updates, harvest communication, and news from Stuart Seeds. Let's keep in touch, because that's what neighbors do. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers. The West Washington Senators are leading 32-0 over the visiting Tecumseh Braves here with 6:34 left in the second quarter.
Milan leads 21-14. That's a regional opponent. A regional possible opponent.
Yeah.
They're leading Tri right now.
As
Tri
we
High.
get a little return there that gets snuffed out. It's not going to be on the 28 this time, so if those of you with that 28 Mendoza line there that we were betting on, it is above. So if you had the over, you got it. As they're going to bring it up to about the 36, 37, 38.
We're at actually Milan and Tri are at halftime, 21-14.
And here in sectional 48, Perry Central up 35-0 over North Central. So it looks as if everything's played out, that we'll get a rematch of that.
It'll be a PLAC rematch.
And you guys want to – we went viral with our clip there. We should have. With that play is this going to be pitched to the outside there, and that ball is going to be dropped right there at about the 45.
Jake Strange does a nice job lowering his shoulder, takes Lane Patterson out of bounds.
Yeah, and Lane's running hard. He's a kid you can tell if he knows this is his last football game, he's gonna give it his all. He definitely has some. He's got a dirty shirt. Plays both ways. That's something you have. Because I mean, you look right now at Tecumseh sideline. I'm seeing 3 or 4 guys up there ready to be able to come in.
Yeah.
And I see a couple younger guys behind the coaches. That's just single A football when it's hard like that.
Handoff up the middle, nothing there.
Now, were you ever covering the games when we played like some tiny schools like Duggar, or were you? I know that's kind of when probably I know.
I got to make the trip to Duggar once.
Okay, with the headlights.
Yes, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah. Of course, when I was at Crawford, we had 17 people once on the varsity team, which was not very good. That's when I was our junior high had like 35 kids on it to 40, which was very nice. As we're going to have a motion there, pitch to Clutter, and he's
met by the Senator line, brought down right where the line of scrimmage was, so going to be no gain, going to bring up about 4th and 5.
6 foot 175 junior there. He's a good-sized kid who can get to moving. As he pops up, and that's when you like what Tecumseh is, you don't get a playoff. He's got to go back and kick now, so he's the kicker.
Yeah.
So watch here. We've had some. This is a play that's just, man, this poor long snapper is just hoping that he can get the ball there. And it's going to be inside handoff there to Gallagher. He's going to get Jared. He's going to have Landon Pearson knock him around, but then the ball is going to go out to the sidelines. We got a penalty. Nothing ever good happens when it goes over there.
That's going to be a hit out of bounds by the way that was thrown. So
yeah, so hit out
which is bad for the Senators because they had it stopped. It was not going to be a first down.
Gallagher on the little trickeration direct snap there and hand off to the quarterback. And
I haven't seen a signal come in.
So it's going to be against the Senators. They're going to mark it off 15 yards. That'll be a first down for the Braves.
Oh, face mask.
Face mask, okay. Well, if Pearson could have gotten to him right there, that's what was kind of interesting. He had him, but I don't know that he had the extra step. You know, when you have your quarterback running full head of steam versus somebody who's kind of going slower there.
Those of you at home watching, Salem is up 28-6, still over North Harrison.
I just realized George Browning down there on the sidelines.
Yep, he's down on the sidelines.
Because Josh is really big into Twitter. George kind of a little slower as that ball's giving up the middle. I like George. George is my Facebook buddy, so he followed me all kinds of places I've talked to him. He was with the Democrat last year and took over their sports, and we're glad to have him back here at the Salem Leader for all the coverage we get there. Great little insert. Speaking of soccer, my little soccer team's in there this week.
There you go.
On Tuesday, as I'm rocking the throwback Reds hat, and so we got all kinds of stuff here as we go. We got a lot of motion right there in the backfield. That's going to be a handoff to Cutter right there, but he's going to be dropped. And no whammies, no whammies.
Yeah, I don't see any yellow on the field at all. So.
I saw Braxton Sprouse throw somebody down over there on the sidelines. And the good news is I don't think any of the officials saw that. So everybody's angle. There are some battles we don't see in the game of football over there because it just winds up getting crazy. A couple other scores just as we go through here. I know we've got some fans from Linton that were kind of chiming in, asking me how it was going here. It's 12-3 for them over North Posey right now. And at the half, Washington, a team that we beat pretty handily, up 20-6 over Edgewood. And it's going to be a pass.
It's going to be a pass dropping back.
Gallagher's looking. He's got to throw it up, and that's a good. Oh, Bowsman drops it.
But we're going to get a late hit on Jake in the backfield.
Oh, man.
And then we're going to get a second one.
Yeah. So right there, so Jake on the late hit, and that's where he did.
So we've got 2 flags out on the field, only one official back there. So,
man, is a ball that was not a wounded duck, but it was just aired out, and Holden saw 100 yards in front of him there of nobody, and Glenn Rankin sitting there also. As the Senators have a little bit of lapse and kind of right there off the bat, as you could say, in judgment or something. Nobody wants to hit anybody late. Nobody wants to play dirty. That's something I can say about the Senator football team. That's how they're coached.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the second penalty was.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 30 total yards there. So we have an unsportsmanlike conduct. Maybe it's so we have 2 possibly. I don't know if they helmet to helmet plus the. As we look at that Holloway coming in there as Pearson goes off, man. And that's where we've talked about Pearson, maybe they're going to try to go with some other people there because he's been in position. Oh, my gosh, this ball is getting moved up.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes. We've got a lot of penalties there. Wow. They just moved from Livonia to Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
That is.
And it's a first down.
And it's a first down, puts them at almost a 1st and goal. They'll be just outside the 10-yard line there. It'll be on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10, so the line to gain is the 2. So here's going to be the pitch to the outside. That's Clutter. He's going to be getting some yards before he's swallowed up. But good positive run there on the first one as the ball pops out, but that's after
that's after he's down. So
man, okay. So this is the scoreboard we know in favor right now of the Senators. But this is one of those mental check marks that you got to just have. You got
can the defense buckle down, hold the Braves to a field goal here? That would be a win.
Because right now we know next week if we advance, they've got a quarterback over at Perry who can just plain take the ball in his hands and go.
Yeah, put his head down and run.
Run, and then you have to have that. So can you do it right here? As we got a little bit of a blitz, going to be coming with the middle, and it's going to be. Oh, Gallagher
nice job by Roper McFeeters.
And Grayson McCoy also there, so he heard some footsteps. But, man, there you go. The sophomore laying it down on the senior quarterback there.
I'm starting to get texts. What's the hashtag? It is Senators versus Braves is the hashtag for tonight.
Senators versus Braves.
Senators versus
so
Braves.
if I take a selfie of us and use that, it's going to pop up.
It should.
All right, let's see. We're a little bit better there, so we're going to try that.
Well, it should. We'll bring it up. So.
Here, I'm going to take a better angle so I look a little skinnier.
Braves getting ready to snap the ball. They do. It's going to be a pass.
And
that's going to go off the hands.
As I'm sitting here trying to use technology. Should just have a kid. Do it for me. Hashtag Senators versus Braves. I'll throw in the West Washington live stream there also. There we go. So we got that tweeted. I could use one of my old accounts on there. I don't think they've changed the password from some previous schools. That would be very funny of me checking in. All right, so you'll see my goofy head, top of my head, because you don't want to see my goofy fat face there. As the Senators are going to have to stop another pass here. It's going to be over the middle. Oh, Charles Madden. Just enough.
Madden gets just high enough. Those of you who don't believe that it works.
We're on, aren't we? I didn't preview the picture there, so hopefully I didn't Pat McAfee us there like he did.
There it
Andrew
is.
Luck. There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
So those of you out there wondering, does it work? It sure does.
And yes, we've got faces for radio, not TV, folks. That's why you don't see us. So we don't want to be the ones to break your television. So give us a.
We are 1:15 to go here in the first half. Senators leading 32-0 over the Braves, where the Senators take over on downs at the 12.
As we get a quick pass to Bobby, but that's going to be stopped. And so false start on the center is going to push him back. 1:14 left, 32-0 West Washington. Trying to get some points here. They will get the second half kickoff.
Yeah, because Tecumseh chose to receive. So
yeah. And you will get to hear my Salem witch story that is connected to Tecumseh in the second half. So got some time. I got my I Awareness Washington County yesterday. I learned the history of Washington County, including a lot about here, but the connections to Washington County and the other Salem witch trial that nobody knows about. So
Holden with the keep up the middle.
And that's going to he's going to fall over for a couple yards there. Get back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Going to be 2nd and 10.
1:06 left here in the first half. West Washington leading 32-0. Got to make sure I do that for our radio fans. If you're listening on WWSR, very, very good. They are doing some awesome stuff. They're getting ready to launch a lot of things. Got some good music going. I know that for a fact. Bobby gets it this time. He's going to be outside man.
Out wide.
Wow. Can he get through? He's got a whole slew of blockers, but right there it
nice
takes.
Job by the Braves to finish that off. I believe that was 57.
Jared McKinley there. Jared with a great tackle there, and that's what we talked about. Almost a little bit of a gang tackle there. I saw some other kids in there. I think Simon Holland coming in, just getting some bodies on big old Bobby Stevens there. And Holden's going to air this one out. Nope, he's going to run it. He hits the B button. He's going to tap the other stick button. He's got the turbo. He's got one guy to beat. He's going to take him down at the 30.
Nice job.
Nice
run there by Holden, telling his line to hurry up, get down here.
Well, to his credit, the official go ahead, went over here, and they're going to take a timeout. And
Holden, nice job by the senior there. We're going to step aside, have a reading for the organ donation, and we'll be back in just a moment.
A tribute from current West Washington player Parker Green. Coach Bowsman was a wonderful man. He would go out of his way to do anything for anybody. A message from the Indiana Donor Network. The most important thing any of us can do to help is to sign up to be an organ donor and speak with our families about that decision. You can sign up at any age, regardless of medical history, at the BMV or online at donatelifeindiana.org. However, if you are under 18, it is not your legal decision. Organs that can be donated for transplantation include kidneys, heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, and small intestine. Tissue that can be donated include corneas, bone, skin, tendons, heart valves, and veins. A message from the Indiana Donor Network. Donation does not cost the donor family anything. The Organ Procurement Organization, Indiana Donor Network, assumes all costs associated with the donation process. Signing up as an organ donor does not affect your health care. Doctors, nurses, EMTs, and other medical professionals do not know your donor registration status.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Senators do lead 32-0. 23.4 seconds left to go in the first half of play.
All Senators all day here, 32-0 here at Art Sanders Field. As Bowsman's going to pump fake. He's going to throw back. He throws a lob over there, and it's going to be a pass interference
We're
there.
going to get a pass interference call.
So, and, you look at that, I believe that's Gabe Bradley there. As he got the double clutch.
The double move there kind of got him. So
and he said, I'm going to grab you so you don't get the freebie.
Yep.
And reach out and touch someone as we talk about that. So it's going to move it up there. So defensive hold, so they're going to move as the crew here. Now, during football, though, what is nice, they stay together as a crew.
Right.
Which, because there's no way you could do and that is something I wish we had in basketball, because I know some of those guys are consummate professionals, but it's so hard to build a super team, I guess you could say, of basketball officials. In soccer, is it also the same crew?
I don't know that for sure. I would assume that they are kind of like basketball, but I don't know that for certain.
Can I tell you the hardest sport to ever evaluate was always the cross country and track guys?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Les Wright was a really good guy that I was very much, and then as we say here, oh man, I tell you what, he's got a quick pass if he wants it, but no, he's gonna pop it over to Parker in the back of the end zone. Yes!
Touchdown Senators.
Wow, Parker
Green with his second touchdown of the night.
What a great ball by Holden on a route we haven't seen yet this year.
Right.
Okay, that is a corner route there, just boom out. And what a beauty.
And who do we see coming on the field? None other but the freshman connection.
The freshman connection made up of Clark Nance, Jackson Cameron, and Das Boot in Rosenbaum there. So 38-0, West Washington pressing the accelerator here, going for 39. Low snap, gets it up. Ooh, just short.
Just short, no good.
Kind of like my daughter when we went to Disney World. She was just this short for some of those rides, and thankfully she didn't understand. So
yeah. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from Lynx Clothing and Shoes there on the square in Salem. We'll be back in just a moment.
Lynx Clothing and Shoes carries a wide variety of items from name brand clothing and shoes to sports apparel and sporting goods. We offer custom screen printing and embroidery, free gift wrapping, alternations, and layaway. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5:30, Friday 9 to 6, and Saturday 9 to 5. We are conveniently located on the north side of the Salem Square and are a family-owned and operated business. Stop by and see us today, 812-883-4154.
Back to live action here at Art Sanders Field, where the Senators do lead 38-0. 11 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Big Jake Strange back to boot this one away.
Yeah, as the Senators are looking to get a quality kickoff here in coverage, not give anything away. As we get a low
squib kick down the middle,
and there that is to Lane. And I tell you what, Lane Patterson, name I've said a lot tonight. Kid runs hard.
Yep. 6.6 seconds left.
So we're probably going to see. Nick Gallagher can throw the ball, so I think that coming out of their offense, it's not a shotgun type scenario.
Yeah.
So, but there can be some misdirection and some motion that can really, hopefully, free somebody up. But for something to develop quickly for him, it's gonna have to be quick. And it looks as if they're gonna take a shot.
I think they're gonna stick with what they got.
Yeah. As he's going to run it up the middle there, and he's going to get some yards.
Yep, 14 carries that. Lane Patterson again.
So we're going to be stepping away real quick for a commercial break, and we do have a surprise guest, I hope.
Yep, I see the person, so we will bring him on here in just a moment. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from Edward Jones, Ryan Kemp, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The recent market volatility has affected just about everybody's financial and investment situations. So if you're planning on retiring soon, will it still be possible? Of course, with many people's jobs being affected by the coronavirus pandemic, your retirement plans may have been thrown into confusion. But assuming your employment is stable, you'll need to review your retirement goals and progress you've made towards achieving them, so you can determine what moves, if any, you need to make. Then ask yourself some questions. For starters, are you flexible enough to make some changes to your retirement lifestyle? If you can find a way to make it less costly, you may not need to change your current investment strategy significantly. Also, if necessary, are you willing to work longer than you had originally projected so that you can put more money into your IRA or 401k? Here's another question. When should you take Social Security? The longer you wait, the bigger your monthly payments. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you still have choices. Consider them carefully and make the decision that works for you. For more information, contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Ryan Kemp at 812-620-5604. Member SIPC.
And we've got our former senator, Jackson Byrne, who is at Indiana State. So big shout out to Jackson. Thanks for tuning in and being our halftime entertainment here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, it was one of those where found out you couldn't get away from school, so it worked out well for you to join us online, being able to be our halftime entertainment. So Jackson, tell me a little bit about how college football works.
With everything going on right now, or just in general?
Well, let's take in general, and then how it goes now with all the precautions and everything going on.
So before all this stuff started going down, it was just have camp in August, start like August 1st, have about a 3-week camp. School starts, then about a week after that, we start the season, and we're practicing 4 days out of the week, have a day for travel on Fridays, and then play on Saturdays. Have Sunday off to watch film, and then Monday was a complete off day, and then just repeat that for about 11 or 12 weeks, and hopefully make the playoffs and go from there. And then if sadly we don't make the playoffs, we start in after Thanksgiving break with our lifting for about 3 weeks, and then go home for about a month, and then come back and lift for about 3 months, work out, and then do spring ball and do that for a month, then go to college, go to the summer and just work out all summer, and then come back in August again for camp. Just kind of eat, sleep, repeat the same process. Also, we have school along with that, but I mean, that's really not that's not that big of a deal.
So how does it work with your classes and playing away football games on Saturdays? How does that work with that type of stuff?
So when we're freshmen, we get put in study tables 8 hours a week, kind of help you learn to manage your time, all the schoolwork and all the practices that goes on. If you handle that well and have good grades, I think our rule is as long as you have a 3.0, you don't have to, or a 3.0 or higher, you don't have any more study tables. And if you drop below that, they'll give you like 4 hours a week. But you do that on the weekends. They tell you if you have homework, bring your computers, bring all your stuff you need, because you'll have time in the hotel room before you go to sleep or just before you have meetings or anything to get homework done. And most of the buses we'll take, if it's a shorter trip, have Wi-Fi on it, so we can do our homework on the buses if we need to.
Oh wow! So you're kind of used to the digital day, the digital classes, the online things. So did that really change a whole lot with your schooling this year? Not being able to get into classes and things.
No, sorry, my dog is barking. No, being online now, it really hasn't changed. Last fall, I had an online class. In the spring, I had 2 online classes. And now I've got 2 actual online-only classes. And then my 2 face-to-face classes, we do hybrid. So Tuesdays I'm in person, Thursdays I'm online. So it really hasn't been that big of a change. And most of the stuff for us anyway, like we go into class before all this happened, we go into class, but all of our homework and assignments were online. So it just the difference is just going to class and having to wear a mask, and you can't sit next to anybody. You got to be 6 feet apart and all that. That's just the only difference, really.
I see. Mr. Mills had a question for you that he wanted to voice.
Yeah, if you could go back to and ask, let's say, like an 18-year-old Jackson Byrne who's in high school, he's getting ready to, you're getting ready to go through this college process, you're getting ready to go on. What would be one thing that you'd like to tell that 18-year-old Jackson Byrne?
I'd say be more loose. Don't be so uptight. I was a little uptight when I got. Stop it! I was a little uptight when I first got to school, and I feel like if I'd have just been a little bit more free with myself, I would have made it a little bit more better on myself. But that's probably the only thing I'd change.
Well, if we were talking earlier about good Twitter follows, and Jackson Byrne is definitely one of them. He's gotten into a kind of a Twitter battle, I would say, on his basketball skills. So, Jackson was quite the basketball player when he was here at West Washington. I'm assuming he's had to hang that up a little bit since he's been at Indiana State. But I was told that you couldn't be guarded.
No, honestly, I don't think there's a handful of people who can guard me. But at the same time, I'm not the best defender in the world. So if it comes down to it, I'm going to outscore you. So I'm not going to let you can score all you want, but you still got to stop me.
So Jackson, throw out your Twitter there so that people who are watching can get you a good follow there.
You can get me. It's Jackson_Byrne75, and Byrne is BYRNE.
And
you follow me, I'll probably follow you back.
Do you want to say who that Twitter battle was with on who couldn't guard you?
It'd be my cousin who is on the basketball team here at Indiana State. He thinks he can guard me. He can't. He really can't. Even though he was an Indiana All-Star, he still can't guard me.
Mr. Mills has one more question.
All right, this comes from my friend Mark, who's an ISU grad. What is the best place in Terre Haute to grab a bite to eat for you?
For me, I'd say Charlie's or Fifi's. Right now, Fifi's has been closed.
He didn't say Buffalo Wild Wings, so I'm pretty happy because that's what I used to.
No.
I'm sure Jackson can tear up some wings no matter where they're from.
I'll go to B-Dubs on like Thursdays when it's the buy one, get one, but that's probably the only time I go there. Or if my parents are in town and we're just trying to get something quick.
There you go. Talking about your parents, I heard that you got most of your range from your dad because he can still light it up from deep on the basketball court.
I don't know where you're getting that information. He might have taught me how to shoot, but he didn't want me to go out that far. I taught myself that, and then I helped him step out further beyond the three-point line in his later days.
Well, Jackson, definitely thanks for allowing us to steal some of your time. I know you're super busy with football and with school and everything, so thanks for that. Being a West Washington alum, it's great for you to be able to call in and be part of the action. We usually get you Salem week or the first week of sectional. We're a week late, but better late than never.
Yeah, that's the best thing to say.
And
I was glad I was able to come on.
You're definitely a first-time caller, but long-time listener, right?
Yes, I am. That's Captain Obvious right there, Bob and Tom.
There we go.
Me every time.
Like I said, thanks, Jackson. We're going to jump back to some commercials, and we will be back to live action here in just a few minutes.
Thank you. Go Senators.
For over 100 years, Stewart Seed has been proud to work with our friends and neighbors in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. We remain committed to building partnerships rooted in personalized customer service and by providing locally tested products that fit your farm and help your bottom line. Local solutions, promise delivered. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311 for all your Stewart Seed needs.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Senators do lead 38-0.
Big thank
Brad?
you, Will Baker, for that the camera work tonight. He's down here. We're giving him. He's like our hype man for us here. We're the tag team champions of the world. He's our definitely helping us out there. I've got a lot of scores to go through.
Okay, run down some scores for us.
Alrighty, over in the town we live in there, Mr. Akers. Salem 28, North Harrison 6. That's the end of the third.
They're actually 6:45 to go in the fourth. I'm actually watching their production through IHSAA. Big shout out to JD Wade Swift and his crew that's running that over there.
Lynn up 28-3 over North Posey. Mater Dei 16-12 lead over North Knox. Bloomington North 21-20 over Evansville North. 14-14 Jeff Floyd Central. Okay, here's some scores of significance for us. Whichever team wins sectional 48. Milan 21, Tri 14. That's at the half, I believe, and then we've got North Decatur 7, Knightsville 0. That is also at the half, and then Lutheran up 34-6 over Sheridan. So a lot of scores there, and I lost the Perry Central score that we had with North Central.
They were up 32, I believe, to nothing.
So it was mightily in the hands of the Commodores there.
Yeah. So we're going to step aside, get our Commissioner's Corner in. And we will be back as the teams come out onto the field.
42-0.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Paul, we have talked about fall sports now for a while. Busy. We have championships that have been determined and championships that will be determined. We have cross-country finals in Terre Haute. We have soccer finals for boys and girls, volleyball semifinals, tennis championship wrapped up, and then we have semifinals in football. Very busy time and some very excited kids and communities around our state, too.
Yeah, it is. But, and as I've said before, Bob, isn't it great? I mean, it's just, it's great that we're here. It's great that we're able to celebrate, the fall season and march on with the tournament process as we have been. And it's going to be an exciting weekend out there. There's, we got some kids that have punched their ticket to the state final in cross country and soccer, and some volleyball kids that are looking to do the same this weekend. So we're ready. Staff has got their cars gassed up and the tires aired up, and they're ready to get on the road and support high school athletics across the state.
In the mail yesterday, I received a copy of the Indiana High School Athletic Association annual report. Thank you very much for sending that. But let me tell you what, I'm not ashamed to tell you that I'm looking at some of the most fantastic pictures that have ever been taken about sports. And to look and see teammates embracing one another after wins, after losses, and all of that, just to see the emotion in these pictures, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I have a tear in my eye looking at it because of how important this whole situation is, especially when you get to tournament time. And the emotion is just unbelievable for everybody involved.
It is, and I think, the annual report, we certainly want to capture and celebrate what our previous year looked like, and I thought this year's report did it well, and from the Lawrence North successes and across the board, and especially the features on those two student athletes that are in there. Neither student athlete achieved a state championship, which was certainly their goal, but my gosh, they still played for their team in their community, and the story that was told around them and the why, I thought was outstanding.
Paul Neidig with us. We're talking about the IHSA fall schedule. Unified football champion McCutcheon, correct? Did they win it?
That is correct. It was a great weekend. They were, again, another state championship. When they established unified sports for the association, it was certainly visionary, and it's just fun to watch kids celebrate a victory.
It really is. All right, we are, and I cannot believe it, but we are at the semifinals of the sectionals in football. Last week, obviously, 6A out, most of 5A out, but now we crank it back up, and we got into some football weather last weekend.
Yeah, we did, and we've had an unbelievable fall season with just beautiful Friday nights. But, you know, it wouldn't be football. It wouldn't be played outdoors if we didn't have to battle the elements along the way. And they did. And, you know, actually every game in the state last Friday night was played with the exception of one. It was moved to a Saturday contest, which worked out perfect. And, you know, football kids are resilient. Some of the fans are getting a little spoiled sometimes, and I don't know that they like to be out in the rain. You know, and I think I would consider myself in that same realm as the fans. But it was great, and we got through it, and hopefully we're going to have better weather this Friday night.
Many of these games can be seen on IHSAATV.org. Is that right?
That is correct. I think we had 44 games broadcast across the network last week. You know, and I've watched several of them, went back and looked at several of them, and it's just, you know, it's great opportunity. You know, a lot of it is, every once in a while we'll get somebody that's a little concerned with the broadcaster that may broadcast the game. But what people have to realize in a lot of these cases, these are kids. These are student athletes.
Absolutely.
Learn to be the next, they want to be the next Bob Lovell out there and march along and figure this out. And they're cutting their teeth, but they're still doing it. Just like a kid playing on the field, learn how to play football, and kids are learning how to broadcast. And what a phenomenal program, and we're happy that that's met with success, and we're able to put that many games out there across the state.
He is the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. These are our conversations about all things IHSAA related. And so we go another week of high school football, high school basketball coming up soon on the girls' side. Championships galore in the fall. Paul, it's always fantastic to talk to you. Have a fantastic weekend.
We will, Bob, and thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
A tribute from the West Washington coaching staff. Coach Bowsman was more. He was our brother, our best friend. The ride we had to a regional championship and semi-state appearance last year was a dream that we all shared and talked about for years. We didn't know that our run would end so abruptly and that our dream would become so irrelevant. The days that followed our semi-state game would be some of the darkest that any of us had ever faced. But Philip always had a way of bringing light into all of our lives, and again, Philip would not let us down. The impact that he had was evident in the visitors to the hospital. The moments that our coaches and football players had with Philip in his last days, and the stories, laughter, and hugs we all shared comforted each of us. Philip made that happen, we have no doubt. Philip's light shined the brightest on the day of his honor walk. The hospital staff said they had never seen anything like it. The news stories that followed and the stadium lights across the state that broke through the darkness were examples to all of us. Examples that the lives we touch in life and in death will shine forever. The West Washington coaching staff is proud to call Philip our brother and proud of his choice to be an organ donor. We ask that everyone here tonight seriously consider following Philip's example and become an organ donor. A message from the Indiana Donor Network. Did you know one person is added to the national transplant waiting list every 10 minutes of every day? Tragically, approximately 20 people die each day in the U.S. because the organ they needed did not become available in time.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Senators do lead 38-0 over the Tecumseh Braves. We are 43 seconds away from the kick in the second half, which we're going to have the running clock in effect again.
And, you know, we look at that, and I tell you what, Tecumseh, I would have liked to have seen them come in with their full slate because they've got some good players out there. That is something we were sitting here talking to one of their staff members during halftime, and here in the press box. I mean, just you see a team, you see flashes of it.
Yeah.
And I do with that big line. I think that Coach Sabo there might they're young, so he will have. You can always find somebody to run the ball if you got a good line behind them.
Yeah, yeah.
But Senators are going to get the kickoff here. Bobby's going to be back deep. McFeeters, Kenton Chase, and Ethan Roberts. So if they try to short kick this to Kenton Chase, he might take off.
He's right there ready for
Grayson McCoy right here. And you got Big Jake, who's looking like me back in the 90s there. His white T-shirt hanging out like under – Jake's did he cut his jersey off or something?
No, that's just how it fits.
It's just how it fits.
When you're 6'5", it
just ends right there.
Yep.
Wow, that's giving me Warren Sapp vibes from the U, man. Remember that belly, man? People always had it hanging out there.
Salem still leading 28-6, 3:34 to go in that game, but North Harrison is driving.
Perry Central at 35-0 over North Central. That's where it looks as if the Senators will get us. We're going to probably have a squib kick here. I'm willing to bet. It looks like a little trickeration maybe. Nope. Just going to kick it back. It's going to go to Roberts. Roberts going to pick it up. He's going to start behind a herd of Senators. He's going to keep trucking. Keep on trucking.
Comes out to the 45. Nice run there by the freshman.
Hey, and Van Cleve.
Sorry. Sophomore.
Yeah.
Sophomore.
He got an extra year. He's definitely a kid who's running a. He said his mom was listening last week when I called him Forrest Gump there when he was running Forrest Run, and so.
Well, with tomorrow being Halloween, he could have wore the Forrest Gump costume out there and just run for days. Not even stopped at the end zone, just kept right on going.
Great movie.
In comes Van Cleve from the side.
Yeah, he's going to come in, and Jake Strange comes off there. No, he's
well,
gonna
they're just switching sides.
So we got a little strength on as the starters are still in here, and that clock is running 11:20. We are moving around as Tecumseh's backfield's having to make some adjustments there, and it's going to be a handoff.
Hold with the keep.
And he's going to keep it, keep going. One got to beat. Gallagher, the other quarterback, is able to take him out.
It's pulled out of bounds. Nice run there by Holden. A couple of times he's gotten out wide and stiff-armed and not been able to break away. This time stiff-arm and he's away.
I tell you, watch real quick. He's Holden hit another gear there again as he's going, and as we get our many. So do we have two angles tonight?
Yeah, we got two angles.
Wow, look at us.
And we can jump to another one if we want. I mean,
as long as we don't have,
we can do it up.
As long as we don't have one that shows us like you do during basketball when you head on that's one that just man. I felt for giving them. It's like as you're sitting there, I don't want to be on this. Oh, it's going to go over the middle.
There it is again. Oh,
it was there.
That one almost picked off. Parker Green does a nice job of playing defensive back there, knocking that one down.
Parker's like one of your friends is acting up at a party, and you just need him to kind of shut up real quick. That's what Parker did. He just threw him to the ground real quick and said, "No, sir, no, sir, no, sir." This man he does not want to fight that guy. Just get down. You do not want this interception there, sir. So as we got a T backfield now, Parker out wide there is going to be a quick handoff to Bobby. Bobby's going to bounce out.
Bobby gets out wide, looking for the edge.
Oh, we got a hold there because it's going to be on. There's just too much time on that backside for that play to develop. So as I'm willing to bet, he's going to talk. Okay, maybe a clipping. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to figure out what the call was.
Personal foul, blow to the head, I believe.
Okay, so that was on the back side of the play. Okay, because that was called by the back judge, I believe. So that's going to move us back there. So gives the Senators. So that would be a personal foul there. We're packing up a lot of personal fouls. It feels like tonight.
Yeah, not a super clean game for the Senators.
Yeah, you hope to find your path to where you can do some stuff. As we look here, we got all kinds of it. I do like seeing the calls that we're looking at. Parker's looking at his play clock there. And Bobby
lowers his head, gets brought down right at the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be about 3rd and 10.
Man, Aiden Arnold with a great tackle there. So he'll help the Braves out with a big play there. And we're at 8:39 left here in the third quarter as the clock is moving.
Tri cuts the lead at Milan to 28-21. Milan still leads there, 1:08 left to go in the third.
Oh, man, that ball was snapped a little to the left, and Holden makes adjustment. Great blocks all around. Can he get it?
Going to be a hold.
Yeah.
He gets in, but we got a hold. And Holden knows that he's in the corner of the end zone, and he knows that one's coming back.
Lots of holds, lots of holds. There was everywhere is that we see. Oh goodness, the Senators just can't seem to get it going on this first drive here. As you know, we're trying to keep a lot of the starters in, trying to keep them out there because you don't want to be too. So this says the Chargers have advanced to the sectional championship with a 42-0 win over Knightstown. Wow. So let me see if that is correct. I'm hoping this is not one from a year ago. It is 4 minutes ago. So yeah. So they must have piled it on to Knightstown, or Knightstown just didn't update their Twitter feed for me. Yeah. So it was 7-0 at the half. They wound up being 24-0. North Decatur and Milan kind of getting ready to set up for that, as we're going to see out wide.
Well, if Tri has anything to say about it.
Yeah. Oh, what a block.
Nice block by Glenn Rankin. Touchdown to Jake Strange.
And here, and Coach Zabo out wide, just arguing about the
Glenn
block.
Rankin does a heck of a job getting his head in front of the defender. It's not from behind. It's not a blind side. He's there. The defender is running with his head down, and Glenn says, "Welcome to Campbellsburg."
Yeah, Coach Zabo sitting here giving him. He seems like he's agreeing finally with what went down there. As the official was very, was right on it, explaining it. I am always reminded of Coach Bowsman, how he would sit there and argue with these officials, even know them by name. Something that we always bring up each week. It was so funny watching him sit there. As this kick is up, that one's gonna
be good. Right down the middle for Ian.
6:29, yeah. He would during basketball, it was funny. He'd greet the guys or whatever, and he would go sit down. And the problem was he would always yell at the officials by name.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
He'd like, "Jerry, you can't do that, Bob. You're killing us, Bob." And I was like, and I sometimes, I know we talked about Jackson, his dad Jeff would be the one greeting the officials during basketball, and I did it for a little bit, and I would help out, like getting him up there and stuff, because I think that helped fill that sense of separation there.
Yeah. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from the IHSAA and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you hit that water, you're going to want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that. And let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR, home of West Washington football, as we've got a 45-0 lead for the Senators here in Game 2 of the semifinal of the Sectional 48. We got all kinds of scores we're looking at all across the state as we get down here. Hopefully we can get through this with no injuries. That's what we're looking for. This clock will be moving.
One interesting tidbit of information: tomorrow starts girls basketball season with the opening scrimmage for the girls. They're going to scrimmage Floyd Central at 2 o'clock tomorrow here at West Washington in T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. So make sure you come out and support those Lady Senators. Going to be led by senior Lexi Griffiths, first-year head coach Matt Myers, first-year girls head coach Matt Myers. Matt was on the boys' staff for
many years,
a couple of stints there. So, looking to start something new.
Definitely, if you're not a great Twitter, he's really trying to create a brand there for the girls basketball. And as we see the offsides on the Senators on the kickoff, a penalty you very rarely see. So I see Clark Nance is taking some snaps at quarterback there. So if the Senators go back on offense, it appears that's where he will be.
Oh, I got another update from.
Wow, what a kick by Jake Strange. Look at that thing, it's wobbling to the side. That ball's loose. Who's got it? I'm looking. I think that maybe, yes, looks as if Tecumseh got it. Man, that ball was free like a grease pig during the state fair. Wow. So the ball is everywhere, as our announcers even say. We don't know who got it or where it went, but it boils around, and that's where it's going to be. We have a what, sir? We got another one. Oh, look at that Christmas tree.
Got another one coming up. So here you go. Christmas tree from Brittany Powers. I forgot that the sixth grade girls play tomorrow. Round robin tournament with Orleans, and
it's going to be a pass out here, and it's going to be just off of the hands of number 13 there, Gabe Bradley.
I forget who the other one is.
Springs Valley
and Orleans is who they're going to play.
Mitchell had to pull out. We talked about COVID. Mitchell having to shut down for quite a while there as they as Lawrence County deals with COVID-19 and stuff. And we do sit here and we ask this. Let me ask you this, Craig. We talked about this. What if it had only been 4 teams in sectionals? We had two rounds. Could that possibly have been done?
It could have been done. Would have been definitely interesting. Would have shortened up the football season by a week at least.
I guess that we could go down. It would almost have to go down to coaches' votes and like Sagarin rankings.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, and that's what we want everybody. The biggest thing about that I should say is you get that shot. But man, you think about that. You could speed up the season and maybe get it done a lot quicker.
Yeah. Play it almost like the 6A and the 5A teams do.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's what I do worry about, the weather. We're every week, like we said, is a gift as we sit here. Center's leading 45-0, 4:34 left here in the third quarter. Thank you if you're watching on one of the many platforms we're on or listening on WWSR. And great tackle there. So we got holding, as Roberts is riding Gallagher, the quarterback, down. And somebody else there.
I'm not sure who's underneath that.
That's Grayson McCoy, maybe? No, that's
Glenn Rankin.
Who else would it be? Right there.
But it looks like it's going to go back on a hold.
Well, for him to have that much time to move around, you definitely have it. He just sit there. And, even affecting, COVID-19 even affected the Big Ten this week.
Yeah. Want to give a shout-out right now to Lafayette Central Catholic winning the 1A Girls State Championship in soccer on penalty kicks. Get this, 9-8.
Wow.
So they went through 2 rounds of penalty kicks because you get 5 per.
Wow.
2 rounds there to get 9-8 to get that winner.
That's a battle when you get that much. It's going to be a pass outside. It's going to be up high. And
Parker Green, the closest one to it.
Parker, I don't know if he's a baseball outfielder, but did turn really well and pursue that ball. But, man, that thing had some
funny story. Parker growing up was a baseball kid.
Really?
Yeah, up until about 4th grade.
Wow, so he's got the skills. He turned and goes. I went to my nephew's travel ball this summer, and I watched a kid nearly run in the fence going on a home run that was by far gone. And the kid just pursued and just was going at it.
Just kept going.
And he was going to wind up like many of those highlight tapes you see as we get a snap. Clutter's going to get it off. It's going to be an end-over-end kick. It's going to fall back about at the 47-yard line. That's where we will start. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break here. You're listening to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Back to live action here at West Washington, where the Senators do lead 45-0. 2:09 left to go here in the third quarter.
As we have a huge slew of people coming in. I'm going to say it's just the whole junior varsity just came in there. As Clark Nance at quarterback, he's going to hand off to Grayson McCoy. Grayson is going to move, and tell you what, man, second level, third level. Can he keep going?
Grayson gets pushed out of bounds at the 26.
Wow.
Nice run by Grayson there.
Grayson, who just stays so low to the ground, he always reminds me of the Purdue Boilermakers mascot if he was a running back, because he just takes off. He just hides behind some of these bigger guys, and we talk about that. There's some guys with some size on there. I'm seeing some breath from some of the players out there for the first time, so it is a wee bit cold.
Salem does go ahead and win that game,
Congratulations
28-14.
No, Robert picks it back up. He's gonna shake and bake, and he's gonna
still going.
here's my question. Get down, Roberts. Get down. Get down. When was the last time Salem played in a sectional championship?
I don't know that for sure off the top of my head. I know it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, good for them. It's a very tough when you're up there and, you've got some schools. And that's what, you look at. There's not, our population base that is here in Washington County compared to what it is in some of the schools in their conference, that's just.
Yeah.
Just,
well, and even in their sectional,
yeah.
They're going to travel to either Southridge or Gibson Southern,
yeah.
both perennial powerhouses in football. So.
And much bigger areas there, too. And that's what, I know that's what Coach Blair Thompson, and I hope that we can have a lot of successful programs here in the county. That's something what we look at, and that's what people may sit there, 1 week, and I'll bring it up again. I get on my soapbox. Maybe it's because I'm an outsider. I can see a little different. And maybe yourself, like we can say here, you can have that. Why not? It makes it a better county. And, 1 week a year you can disagree with each other, but you got
and I think that's where these two teams are, for that 1 week, West Washington and Salem, don't like each other, I guess is what the best way to say that. But
that's
then
right.
the rest of the year, these boys are cheering on the Salem kids, same as the Salem kids are cheering on the West Washington kids.
I do. After interviewing with Coach Blair Thompson, that was something that I could tell that he's trying to change that culture there.
Yeah, and exactly like you said, it comes from the top down. Blair's doing a great job there. Turning that, not really turning the Salem program around, but instilling a winning pedigree there. First-year coach picking up, I believe that's his 6th win.
Yeah, that's
pretty good for him. West Washington over the past 6-7 years have had winning seasons a lot. We've had this is our 3rd undefeated season going into the sectional play. Our halftime guest there, Jackson Byrne, was part of 2 of those.
Yeah.
And then, this year, another undefeated regular season. So, it's a winning culture around Washington County at the moment.
And that's a good thing. And you look at how that does. It does spring up. It brings communities. It makes somebody. I tell you, your year goes a lot of the times how your football season goes. It really does. It springs. Although we say that last year after that amazing run we made and then all the heartache we dealt with, I guess it kind of did. It kind of set us up for the heartache that was 2020. That we look at and we honor tonight. As we go and these kids play here. As we look and we're going to start the 4th quarter up 45-0 as Clark Nance is going to be flanked by Grayson McCoy. There comes Kenton. He's going to get that quick toss and Ken's going to fly behind somebody. He's going to try to get some yards. And once again, Kenton
cutting, trying to get forward, just can't get there.
He's a kid who, and I really do wish I will be interested to see after if we're able to get in the summer and do some work, like get stronger. That's a kid who could really take a big step because he is so fast and quick and definitely.
I'm excited. I know along with Coach Sullivan to see him on the basketball floor.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I've seen some young men. I wish I could get a couple of them out here playing football, help us out too. I saw Lane Hofler; he just keeps growing like a foot every day.
Yeah, he's going to be a tall one.
He was my quarterback when I coached junior high and had a tough year. Oh, Clark was out. Oh man, I tell you,
threw it a little behind Kenton on that side.
But I will say the pass was where nobody else could get it. So that that's going to bring up a turnover on downs. Do we need to step away for?
No, we can hang tight here.
Okay, we've got one more commercial we're going to try to squeeze in here, and with the running clock, it becomes kind of a little different, but that's all right. We are blessed to be sitting here, as we'll be moving on to play Perry Central next week here at Art Sanders Field in a rematch. So, hey, the script kind of goes the same as it did last year, which, if you were sitting here and if you were telling me to draw up what it'd be, this is the same scenario as last year. West Washington, Perry Central in the championship.
You're exactly right, and it's a rematch of the PLAC that we saw.
Ooh, what a hit there! As some of these, I just noticed
that was 59, I believe. Is that Bradley Hampton?
That's Dylan Keller.
Dylan Keller. Sorry,
coming in along with Andrew Lewis. There, 52, coming in hard. Cade Blankley. There's still some guys out there that are some heavy hitters there. Andrew getting some helping out some beef in the middle there. Jackson Cambrian over here at corner along with outside linebacker Grayson McCoy. We got Hunter Thompson back at safety and Ken Chase over there at corner. And this is going to be an inside handoff. Oh, it's going to be actually flipped out. Great play.
Nice pitch there.
Yeah.
Kenton Chase lowers his head.
Yep.
Nice job.
It looked as if he made just a great little form tackle there. Hey, and that's where you see the Tecumseh offense at full gear there.
Yeah, that's a good hard run by the Tecumseh offense. You know, they lower their heads, they get moving. Great job there by them. You know, continuing to run their stuff.
They've not changed much. I believe is that Titan Williams coming in there? Yes,
yes,
number 17.
Titan Williams, the voice
of
West Washington Livestream 4 basketball season. Mr. Titan Williams, along with Cash Long.
Cash has got the better name, though. Well, actually, I thought Titan sounds good, but, Cash Long there.
Funny story about Cash. His real name is Christopher.
Yeah.
He was in my class. I got the class list, and it said Christopher Long. I was like, who in the world is that? I don't know a Christopher Long in this grade. Cash comes rolling in, and I didn't realize his name was Christopher.
CC Long. I told him he needs to be a golfer of all sorts. He's a baseball kid, I think.
Yes, he's a baseball kid.
I said, but, man, you got that name. You could just, I could imagine the sponsorships. Cash Long. Great name there. Great kids. I do enjoy them. I was feeding them notes during sectional one year because they didn't know, and I was feeding them note cards. Here you go. This is what the record was. This is what they're because I don't know. Did they kick Kenton out of the triad there?
I don't know that they kicked Kenton out. I think Kenton kind of graciously saw where his help was needed and stepped away. It's great for the kids to be able to jump in and do it. I know that Titan would be up here calling the game now if he wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about that, that he should, he wants to play football, so he needs to be down there playing football.
There for sure.
And for those of you out there listening, he is playing basketball. He's just going to pull double duty.
He's going
to play the JV game and then come up and call the varsity game along with Cash. So great things to look forward to. They're going to do boys and girls.
Wow.
So kind of double dipping it there some. So it'll be an interesting season for them. Hopefully it gets pushed back a couple of weeks because the football team keeps winning.
We're hoping it does. You get that second round of, that's always good. And if you win next week, it helps to move and then even more.
Well, and I was talking to Coach Sullivan about that, and
we got it right there. Van Cleef can't pull him down. Gallagher's going to keep moving. Oh, that's a face. Oh man, as Jackson Cameron gets just totally pulled down by his face mask.
His face mask there.
Gallagher goes to the sideline, and Victor Young, who just had knee surgery there, trying to stay out of the way, as we almost had a Buffalo Bills Mafia moment there with that table. So,
talking to Coach Sullivan, if they win sectional, it's impossible for them to get 10 practices in before the Salem game.
Oh, okay.
So if they
Salem's in the same boat if they win their sectional, so they're hoping they got to move that game also.
So there's only 9 practices between the sectional final game and the normal Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and that's something, as we got a pass here, Gallagher's going to toss it over the middle. It's going to be intercepted! That is Hunter Thompson Hunter Thompson with a great pick right there. He was sitting there and gift wrapped, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. We're going to step away for our last commercial here, possibly tonight, because we don't know if we're getting another chance here. 6:48, West Washington leading 45-0.
The recent market vitality has affected just about everybody's financial and investment situations. So if you're planning on retiring soon, will it still be possible? Of course, with many people's jobs being affected by the coronavirus pandemic, your retirement plans may have been thrown into confusion. But assuming your employment is stable, you'll need to review your retirement goals and progress you've made towards achieving them, so you can determine what moves, if any, you need to make. Then ask yourself some questions. For starters, are you flexible enough to make some changes to your retirement lifestyle? If you can find a way to make it less costly, you may not need to change your current investment strategy significantly. Also, if necessary, are you willing to work longer than you had originally projected so that you can put more money into your IRA or 401k? Here's another question. When should you take Social Security? The longer you wait, the bigger your monthly payments. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you still have choices. Consider them carefully and make the decision that works for you. For more information, contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Ryan Kemp at 812-620-5604. Member SIPC.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers. Penalty there by the center is going to be 1st and 21. Clark Nance is going to take snap. He is going to hand it off there to Grayson McCoy, who cuts up to the left side. He's going to be stuffed right there about the line of scrimmage. So I teased this earlier. Tecumseh and the Salem witch trial. Okay, Tecumseh. Of course, the Indian chief who tried to unite all the nations there to keep all the settlers that were kind of in this area around. He had many battles. He had a brother called the Prophet. I'm not going to attempt to say his name, okay? The Prophet was all about this cleansing of the people, that they should throw away what the Native Americans had, like taken on these traits of the settlers. Well, he would basically burn people at the stake if they did that. And he apparently, legend has it, burnt one at the stake here on Blue River. Outside of Salem. So yeah, there was actually a trial held, but it was one man and kind of did that, and they burnt because this person had Christian values is what the issue was. So it's kind of weird that you think about the opposite of that. So I tell people where I'm from, and they always give me that look like, if they don't, I'm Indiana. You gotta like Massachusetts. There's Oregon. There's so many towns, and as we look at here, I did a big history tour as part of Washington County Awareness, so I wish everybody could do that.
Tecumseh has made the trip to Salem a couple of times, most recently with their girls basketball team that was here for regional.
Yeah, we talked to them. They're going to be back probably.
That's going
to be a stacked regional.
They have some really good athletes. There with their girls basketball program, and
girls softball program really good.
Well, and funny story, most of their basketball team I heard were softball players that just played basketball. And it's a pretty nice thing to have when you can have girls who are softball players who just play, basketball just kind of in the off season to stay in shape and do that. So
there's a lot of and that's what you look at. The Senators girls basketball team are going to have to go with very few seniors this year, so they're going to be trying to do this. Clark's going to pass the ball. It's going to be picked off there.
Gallagher brought back the other way.
He was trying to hit number 18 their ball, and it's going to be ridden out of bounds. So by number 51 Bradley Hampton there. Wow,
So I just got the update from Brittany Powers, who taught this lesson that you were talking about.
Okay.
10 squat awa.
Yes, and he changed his name like 3 times.
Well, that's what she's messaging me.
Yeah,
so
10 squat.
Our 4th grade teacher there gonna get us some Indiana history.
So why he was called the Prophet was that he predicted a lunar eclipse.
Oh.
He predicted an eclipse, and so like people said that, and he had all these awakenings and stuff, and it's just kind of a crazy. If you can ever get into history, read some of these accounts. And the Smithsonian, I got stuck in a loophole last night looking. I'm pretty sure that's real news there on the Smithsonian. So as the Braves are going to try to toss it, he's going to be. Oh man, again he has eluded. Gallagher has eluded another 10. Man, as he's driven,
he got away from 5. Senator defenders and was able to throw the ball, but still not going to be able to complete it.
As Brennan Emery comes across, who was the corner, or was he the safety? Was he the corner?
He was the safety.
He was the safety, comes in and lays a hit on Gallagher, who's now looking for his mouthpiece, which he just picked up off the ground there.
We were just tweeted that we have to be more selective in our halftime entertainment.
Oh, man, so we've told that we need to we're sorry, but U2 was not available, so... we'll try to do that. You don't want to hear us sing or do anything like that.
Well, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to sing.
No.
So
as we got a
handoff.
It's out.
Ball's out.
Ball's out. Ball's out.
Looks like Grayson McCoy is going to be on top of that one.
1:19 left, and it'll be center ball. And I'm willing to bet that's going to.
I'm betting we're going to see some victory formation here.
Yeah. As they're trying to preserve that shutout because that's just. Coach Gibby likes it. I know Coach Nance and Coach Nance all love that. Coach Jones down there. Coach Walker, who hides on me. I always try to find Coach Walker. He's an elusive man somewhere down here. I don't know. I'm trying to find him. He's hiding. I see Coach Powers and Kent Chapman down there. Thankfully, I haven't had to call his name tonight. Oh, there he is. So you see him now. And Coach Burke's there. Yep, I see Coach. There you go. Maybe because he's all blue. And I did say that, I look and Gibby's in all blue tonight, but their coaches look like they're in okay, now we got a lot of blue, so.
We're going to have a timeout. We're going to step away, take one more commercial, and be back in just a moment.
For over 100 years, Stewart Seed has been proud to work with our friends and neighbors in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. We remain committed to building partnerships rooted in personalized customer service and by providing locally tested products that fit your farm and help your bottom line. Local solutions, promise delivered. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311 for all your Stewart Seed needs. At the heart of the Channel brand are the relationships we build with farmers like you. We call it seedsmanship. With Channel, you'll experience our seedsmanship at work services on your farm through the year-round, hands-on, customized service of your Channel seedsman. Your local Channel seedsman, Brady Bishop, knows your fields and can recommend an elite seed product designed to perform in your area and maximize the profitability of every acre. Contact Brady, your local Channel seedsman, at 812-620-4624.
Welcome back to Art Sanders Field, where the Senators are one knee away from going to the sectional championship. Clark Dance is going to look at the clock and then fall down, and that is probably going to be the last play we'll see, as they're not going to reset. We'll see them reset the clock as they're going to reset the ball. So it'll be 7:30 start time next Friday here at Art Sanders Field, as the Perry Central Commodores will be coming, and we've got a rematch of another great game this year. So the best game the Senators had all year that they were able to play, since we weren't able to play the Salem game. So they're going to be here. Washington County is going to be going one of two ways. They're going to be heading down towards Southridge, right?
Yep.
Probably, or they're going to be right here. So let's hope that we have two trophies, and then we got dueling parties going around the square there in town.
Meet the buses.
Meet the buses. That would be
on the square. They can meet each other on the square.
That would be as we got fireworks going off.
Fireworks going off on the far side.
I know it's been a long day, Mr. Akers. Do you want to have some closing thoughts before we go?
Closing thoughts right now. Go for it.
I think that it's going to be this week of preparation is trying to beat a team twice, especially a good team twice, is very hard. The focus that these boys are going to have, and if they can put together the big plays next week, that's going to help them. It's going to be those big plays, and whoever gets the biggest plays is going to win next week.
I couldn't agree with you more. Playing Perry for a second time, always tough. Kind of a family rivalry, because they've got Greg Gibson and we've got Mark Gibson on our coaching staff, so kind of a family rivalry there, a PLAC matchup. Always an interesting one when those two teams meet up. We'll be live with you next week. It'll be a 7:30 start time, so probably 6:30, 6:45-ish come out to you. Good win tonight for the Senators over the Tecumseh Braves, 45-0. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors who allow us to do this. If you're looking for a way to help out, you can always contact the athletic department. Darren Russell will definitely help you out.
We've got basketball season coming up.
Basketball season coming up, telling you how to sponsor, how to get to be part of Livestream and help everybody be able to see the games.
And thank you to everybody watching all around on all these different platforms tonight. What a great day. I was able to see us on some people's TV, sending us pictures and stuff. But God bless everybody. Everybody stay safe. And for Brad Mills and Craig Akers, we're signing off here on West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR.